Welcome in. How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. Good to see Apple Strudel. Congrats on being the first to arrive. Welcome in, Ralpha. Guess it's Rafa Wolf. Alright, I knew that because you've been here a bunch of times. How are you doing today? Welcome in. Peyton, thank you so much for the resubscription. Welcome back to the stack. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. Welcome in, Anime. Is it Totsistot? Hope I'm saying that right. Welcome in. Welcome in, Bat. Hey, Anna. Hey, is it, Is it Uka State? I'm definitely saying that right now. I'm sorry, but welcome in. It's good to see ya. Just in case, welcome in. Glad that you're hyped. Nice to see ya. Hey, Ray. Enjoy your lurk. Right, if you are hyped for the stream, we might as well just go ahead and get into things, shouldn't we? I'm hyped for the stream too. Feels like it's been a while since I played Stardew, even if it was just on Saturday. I missed it. My camera's slightly off here. Oh, try again, camera. There you go. Frazzle, welcome in. How are you today? Estate? Alright. Glad to hear it. Hope you're doing well today. Slow. Let's eat. I'm amazing. You're certainly Frazzle. Frazzle, could you, like, explain like I'm 5 what the Discord you sent and the idea behind the randomizer thing you were talking about is? Maybe explain like I'm 3, because I'm definitely having trouble with it. Oh, I'm doing push-ups? Alright, we'll start off with push-ups. Let me just fill up the shed and we'll take care of it. Thank you, just in case. Via chat, maybe not. Fair enough, fair enough. I thought I knew what you were talking about, and then I went to the Discord, and now I'm, like, very unsure of exactly what's going on with that. Hey, Bruce Winless, welcome in. Glad to see you like my organization. It's been a work for a long time. Ow. How would you say that? It's been in the works for a long time. There we go. Oh, my dog's barking. Something exciting must be happening. Or there's like a squirrel or something. Probably more likely. Hey, Coco. Welcome in, Soup. It's good to see both of you. And we get to start out with some push-ups. This camera is incapable of pointing in a straight line. Maybe the world's just tilted. My hands smell like Parmesan cheese, and I don't know why. You know what, Coco? Of all the problems in the world to have, doesn't seem like the worst. That's just my opinion, though. Get on that grind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See that, Sneakers? Own that. A little warm for the blanket today, I think. Hey, Zach, welcome in. I only saw 7.3. That's more than you normally see. You were first. It says that Apple Strudel was first. I don't want to doubt you, but Twitch tends to have the final say about these sorts of things. My Twitch lagged? Ah. You gotta watch that lag switch. It'll get you. Gather up the goodies. You pinged me. Okay. Thank you, Frazzle. I'll focus on stream for now, but I'll be able to hopefully work it out at some point. So how's everyone doing today? I went to the doctor. And they said I'm not dying, so that's actively a good thing, I suppose. Oh, today's the fair, isn't it? Oh well, at least it's an easy day to get started. It's good that you aren't dying. I'm glad you think so, Frazzle. You have a math exam tomorrow. Are you excited for it, Zach? Are you studying? If you don't mind me asking, what's it on? I'm very curious on your maths. You already finished the exam? Or you finished studying? I see, right. That would make sense, yep. Chunky? I'm also glad. Who would carry sneakers if I died? Probably my dad. Hello, Mr. I'm So Famous. I'm in 2 Shawnee-Do videos. Did I miss something? Death on 2 legs. Welcome in. Would you like to explain? I didn't know I was in another Shawnee video. I thought I watched his most recent video. Okay, so it wasn't the most recent one, at least. Like, did I miss it somehow? Oh, my animation canceling's off. 1 second. I just restarted my computer. That makes sense. Tots, thank you so much for the sub. Perhaps a short? Ooh, I'll have to go watch his shorts. I haven't really been watching any shorts. You got me curious now. Tots, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the stack. Enjoy your emotes, your sub matches, and ad-free viewing. Thank you so much, Tots. W indeed. Oh no. Oh well. I forgot to do stuff. Doesn't matter though. How much do you need? I think it's like 1,200. I don't even need that much, do I? How much is the rare crow? I think it's less than 1,000. Either way, you're super famous. Glad to hear it, Death. I hope you're doing well today. We got enough. It's 800? You're right, Frazzle. It's okay. My money is expendable. Hey. See how many of these we can get before we run out of time today. I'm gonna save up for you to leave, Leah. I think you're not the only one who's saving up for that. Wonder if you could pool your resources. Become some kind of super chat. Voltron your way into making me divorce Leah. There's enough points in existence. You're doing both at the same time, Zach? Let's see. The best way to make money is either Starfruit or Ancient Fruit Wine, right? The most boring? Or is it the same thing? The best and most boring? Is it geode farming? Yeah, geode farming? Yay! Called it. Whoops. Come on, gold bar. Can't do that to me. May contain trace amounts of called it. Is it going well for you, Zach? I don't know. I always find it kind of exciting. Like you just gotta wait for the right geode to appear. Hey, Anime, how are you doing today? 30-hour omnis in 5 hours. That seems low. Do you have a bad spot? I assume that is in-game hours as well. Not great, not horrible. Okay. Hey, Artie. It's going well. How are you doing? I'm doing splendid. Glad to hear it. So 6 hours ago, I texted my dad asking when he was going to make it home. It is currently 5:45. Just walked in the door and he texted me 5:45. My dad has an excellent sense of humor. You ever thought of playing Fortnite? I've played Fortnite before. Not on stream, though. I'm not very good at it. And it wouldn't be very interesting to watch me be bad at it. What is this challenge? We're attempting to collect 999 of every stackable item in the game. So, for instance, these rare crows, I can only get one per year. So every year on fall 16, I grab one, and I pop it in here like that, and we're up to 18 of them. How are you doing? Is it, I'm really bad with names today for some reason. Wakita, I think. I don't know how to pronounce the the UA there. It's a very long challenge, but I've been having a blast with it for quite a while now. See if we can avoid passing out here and get our inventory cleaned up. Oyster. I'm down. We made it. Didn't quite get into bed though. That's okay. What will I do when I finally beat the challenge? Take a nap, probably. And then I'll probably do more Stardew stuff. Can't imagine moving away from this game. Maybe Haunted Chocolatier, because it probably will be out by then. Hey, Stunted Wolf, enjoy the bathroom. It's kind of a weird thing to say now that I'm thinking about it. Quality. I'll leave that one to you, Chunky. That's your baby. Hey, TJ, welcome in. He would wait 5 minutes to walk in the door at the exact time. Gosh, I don't know if I'm patient enough to do something like that. Sorry to hear that, Anime. Yeah, 1.6 will be out for sure before that. I don't expect it to add too much to the game, though. It's gonna have the modding API, which is really awesome, but like content-wise, it's probably gonna be pretty light, which is fine. Means I don't have to adjust much for the challenge. I'm very curious what Concerned Ape is gonna put in it, though. Should be some pretty fun stuff. How was your day at work? It was pretty nice. Nothing substantial happened. I'm hyped for Chocolatier too. I'm expecting it to be very fun. I don't think it'll be similar to Stardew in style and look, but I think the gameplay is going to be pretty different. I don't even think you're going to really farm for things like you do in Stardew. Feels like it's going to be a more combat-oriented game. I'm willing to try to answer a math question, Anna. I cannot guarantee you that I will be fully capable of it. What farm layout is it? Standard. When I made this farm, there was only one farm layout. If I were to choose all over again, I'd probably still pick standard. Standard's really nice for just having a lot of open room that's not interrupted by anything. Alright. how do you read the coordinates of a point on a 3D coordinate system? You usually do it as a vector. It's kind of a science question, actually. So if you wanted to read a point, like in a 2D, you'd go X and Y. So you'd say like, it's 10X, 5, oh, you can't see my hand. It's 10X, where it's on your screen, 10X, 5Y. Then if you add a third coordinate, you'd add Z. So then 10X, 5Y, 3Z, like closer to you or farther away. You could also do it in polar coordinates. When you read coordinates in polar coordinates instead of like X, Y, Z coordinates, you have a distance to a point, what you'd call like the radius R. So from the center to that point, and the angle. If you're doing 3D, you need two angles. So you have theta and phi. Yes, Y is top bottom. X is left right. Was I not doing that? This is X, this is Y. Don't know if I did that or not. I intended to do that. Hey, Pink Puff, how are you doing? Just stopping by to say hi. That's awesome. It's good to see you. Sorry to hear you got to run off and do something, but I'm sure it's going to be real fun. Does that answer your question, Anna? Yeah. In math, there's usually two ways to display coordinates. We do Cartesian is the word for like X, Y, Z, and then polar means I tell you the distance to an object, to the coordinate, like the actual like as the crow flies distance, so like from the center to that point, and then the angle off of the horizontal, the x-axis. That's so confusing. It's not that bad. It's something you have to get used to for sure, but that's true about like any math you do. What exactly is a vector? It's just it's like a unit. So like for instance, you would say for like your position, let's say I'm standing right now at 0 and I move 2 feet back, or 1 meter back, we'll say. So now I'm at -1 meters. That's my position. But let's say we don't want to just know our position. We want to know kind of like our change in position. So what happened from where we started to where we end? Well, I started at 0 and now I'm at -1. So my change in position is 1 backwards. And that's called a displacement, and that's a vector. It's just a representation of something that has both a number value, a magnitude, and a direction. So it needs both of those things. So velocity and speed are the difference between a magnitude and a vector. Speed is just how fast you're going. You could say you're going like 26 kilometers per hour. But your velocity would have to include a direction. So you'd say you're going 26 kilometers per hour north, or 26 kilometers per hour south. They are very lucky, Hardy. So things like speed and distance and all of that can only really display one bit of knowledge, whereas vectors can tell you more than one thing. You can also break down vectors into component parts, but it's a little bit more annoying. Minus Z. Yeah, it's in the minus Z direction of what I was just using as my coordinate plane. One of the really cool things about math and science, though, is that you can kind of choose where your coordinate plane is. You can adjust it to make it easier for yourself. If you went 2 to the right and 1 forward, the resultant vector would not be 3. It would be 4. Wait, no, it would be 2. Wait, how does that work? That's not right. Pythagorean theorem, why are you failing me? It would be 4 plus 1, 5. It would be the square root of 5. Because you have to make a triangle, Anna. I don't really have an easy way to draw right now, but the basic idea is if you're going this way and then this way, your final vector would be from where you started to where you ended. So that makes a triangle. Would it be a root of 3, Zach? Yeah, Route 5. I was like, sometimes my math skills are painful, but usually I wouldn't expect that one to be incorrect. Yeah. So to find that, Anna, I just did the Pythagorean theorem, because you're just going 1 and then this way. So then you can just find the hypotenuse of that triangle by doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Omnis did not win today. I hope you're all enjoying Math Hour, by the way. In some ways, it's the missing side of a triangle. It doesn't have to be. I think what we did there was just add two, we added two vectors together, which is not exactly what you were asking necessarily. Yeah, we do have a Discord already. Okay. Oh, I meant to put the shads away. Dang it. Go there. Animate. Don't say it like that, please. We need to study VC in the Discord. I mean, there are open channels. If you guys want to study in Discord, feel free to do so. Yeah, it's just a Pythagorean theorem. It depends what you're doing. You probably don't need to memorize it. Well, you probably should, but I don't know what math you're doing, Anna. It's just the relationship between the sides of a triangle. So it's true for all right triangles. A right triangle is a triangle with an angle of 90 degrees on one of the sides, one of the corners. Okay, let's put that away. Alright, so what are we going to focus on today? Welcome back, Zach. I didn't even know you were gone. Lag again. Ah, that's why. Sorry to hear that. Divorce Leah. You have to pay for that, junkie. I literally thought you just paid for it. Alright, let me go grab sneakers. You just started doing 3D coordinate stuff in school? I mean, that's not necessarily a formula for that, Anna. If you're just now doing 3D coordinate stuff in school, I mean, they should be telling you how you solve for that sort of thing. If you're doing three-dimensional, you have to solve two right triangles, technically. For two-dimensional, you should only need one. Sneakers is trying to hide off screen. Give him his hat. That only tells you your distance from the coordinate, though. What sort of things are they having you do, Anna? Because you might not need what we're talking about at all in some circumstances. You're gonna make that joke and I'm gonna come out swinging. You made the joke. I didn't do anything. Do you have a name for that leopard? This is Sneakers. Sneakers was my stuffed animal when I was very young. And he was sitting in my closet for a long time. So, since Stream likes him so much, we bring him out whenever he is requested. Alright, I'm trying to think of what I want to do with the rest of the day. I don't know if I want to start with the volcano. Donkey, you won your duel, and Cat's here. Yeah. Welcome in, Cat. Hope you're doing well today. I think I just want to do harder mines today. I don't recall that at all, Frazzle. I believe it, but I don't recall it. Hey, Blade, how are you doing today? Welcome in. For those of you who do not know Blade, Blade is an awesome streamer on this website and also has a wonderful YouTube channel at Blade. I spelled your name wrong. Oh, that's why. Underscores. Was that because of sneakers? Yeah, Blade does some insane challenge runs in this game, so if you're interested in seeing more things like that, outside of like just this challenge, Blade is an awesome person to follow for that sort of thing. Blade, I heard you've been busy killing children. Would you like to explain yourself? Are you a friend of Father, Algo? I don't know what that means, anime. Child murder is a good pastime? Good to know. I watched your video, Blade. I kind of want to get 999 of them. I feel like that might be a fun side goal. Just to have that whenever I want to. Whoops. I know, I will be sleeping. So it's like one of those things that, like, I'm randomly kind of equipped to do. That would be extremely unreasonable for most other people. Hey PP, how you doing today? Welcome in. Anime, let's chill out, okay? I'm not doing your homework for you, Tots. And also, you already did that problem. I very much doubt it's a castle reference, but it's definitely true. Right. Emerald, welcome in. How are you doing today? Can you activate and disactivate the dangerous mines? Yes, yes you can. So there's a, at floor 120, so when you get down, you can't even see it right now, but on the 120th floor, there's a shrine that you can activate to turn it on and off, whatever you want. You have to complete it once to do that. But then from there on out, it's available. I wish it existed for Skull Caverns. Can you do my homework instead? Becky, you're more than capable of doing your own homework. Yeah, you just need the quest. And probably a lot of ladders, right? That's how I do it, at least. Oh no! That sucks, Emerald. I'm very sorry to hear that. I've been doing well. I haven't really been having any issues lately. Nice and happy. I went to the doctor today. And I'm perfectly healthy, as it turns out. Which is always a nice thing to find out. Slothy! Hey! Welcome in! How are you doing today? I happened to go to bed pretty early last night for a lot of reasons, but I saw you got pinged by Joe. You and Blink. What ended up happening with that? Or it's okay if you don't need to. If you don't want to say. I'm just curious what that was about. Let me go ahead and give you a shout out. I think my recent shout out was too recent because Blade just stopped by a second ago. I will try. Maybe that'll work. Yay, it worked. For those of you who don't know, Slothy is a super awesome, cozy streamer here on Twitch. If you're looking for a place that's good to chill and hang out, you'll probably find me there on the days when I don't have to go to bed early. I'm doing well, Slothy. I'm doing well. I went to the doctor today, and they said I was healthy. I couldn't believe it, personally. You're unintelligent? You're not unintelligent, Chunky. Come on. You know you're not unintelligent. Ah, okay. I see. I want to play more Played Up, but all y'all West Coasters are up way too late for me. Joe's another streamer here on Twitch who streams Stardew. My shout out is down, but it's Joe TG. Joe's a very fun guy. Hey Courtney, how are you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, Played Up's a very fun game. It stresses me out, but you know, a good kind of stress. Hey Jake, how are you doing? Welcome in. It's good to see ya. I've heard of Stardew. This mythical game called Stardew. I may have heard of it before. Okay, I'm actually gonna want that geode. Let's delete the rice shoots. Your 100th ray of school. That's exciting, though. It is a lot of days, isn't it? Should make a video and title it 100 Days in School Will I Survive? It's like the trend for Stardew videos. I dare you to finish the challenge and play Fortnite. Alright, see you in 2 years. I'll play Fortnite in 2 years when I finish the challenge. I pretty promise. You can hold me to it because it's on video. Oh! What the heck? Why does that happen sometimes? Are you kidding me? Just straight up 9 Q gems from that one. Something causes that, because it's normally like 1 to 2. That one just gave me 9. Tonight, I actually don't think I'll be around, unfortunately. A few of my friends, we're gonna get together and watch the Vox Machina show. Probably. But, later in the week, or whenever, just let me know, Slothy. I will be glad to. It was a stick bug, yep, Blade. I know they have, like, a rare chance of dropping more. It feels just very inconsistent. I guess it's supposed to be, but... I don't know what Ferda is, but something like that. Get stick bugged? I wish. Well, Friday either way. Yep, Friday will be really fun. I'll go, why do you have so much health? We don't talk about that. It definitely wasn't my fault. If you're gonna blame anyone, blame Concerned Ape. Oh, it just rolls a 50% chance for each additional. So what is that then? 1 divided by 2 to the 9th? Isn't that like an insane chance? That's insane, right? That's 1 in 1,000. That's actually not that bad. Actually, not even. 1 over 500. That's not that bad. Okay, that's fair. He got more health because the doctor told him he's healthy. Wait, how'd you get that answer? Have an answer? That's a nice answer. Thank you for sharing that, Blade. No, the answer to why I have more health, there was a bug in the game that I was unaware of, so this was not on purpose, that if you changed profession in combat between the one that gives you more health and to the other one, it would keep your extra health. And it looks like I did that twice. And it didn't revert back, so that is my health now. It's actually bad because it makes me have bad habits with this game. Or if I play like speedruns and stuff, I die more easily. You know how to do a Fortnite emote? I don't have any Fortnite emotes. I assume someone probably does. Does K-pop? I do not do K-pop. Despite what people here will say. I also don't have a Clips channel. I believe it was muted, so kind of lacks the impact. Oh, I passed out. I didn't realize. Proceed in range. Then check criteria. Wait, Blade, I don't know what that's referring to. Looks like a seed checker code for sure. I don't know what. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Question from Zach. Got it. How does one utilize a Twitch Prime subscription? I believe you have to connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. I don't remember how to do that. But once you do that, if you click the subscribe button, there's an option to sub with Twitch Prime. I think that's how it works, at least. How it works on desktop. I don't know about mobile. Thank you for all the help. Oh look, I'm slowly learning. Okay, we go here. And we got lots of diamonds today. Diamond Gamba. How many diamonds will we get? I'm gonna guess 694. Where is Onion? I don't know. Probably at school or something dumb like that. Onion. Oh, Jake, you have Onion emotes too? Onion also has emotes. This one is so cute. Look at those. Aren't those amazing? I want a poll where it says, just got the one. Oh, Chunky's sharing them too. I like with the onion crying and laughing. That's a good one. Hey, Mustafa, welcome in. How are you doing today? Yeah, Onion made really cool emotes. I'm doing well. Onion also made some of my emotes. Onion made this one. And wait, is that actually it? Hold on. Yay, Chunky, you're off the bus. Oh, Onion made this one too. I can't remember if it was Onion that made the sneakers emote. I should really write these down somewhere so I don't forget. I think those are the ones that Onion made. Awkward Squirrel is the one who made the Brady emote though. Cut it out so nicely so it actually works well for Twitch. I was worried we wouldn't be able to do like a Brady emote because most people use Twitch in dark mode and it's like impossible to see the black on black, but it worked out perfectly. It looks really nice. My friend made it because you ate a raw onion. Jake, why'd you eat a raw onion? Did you just like take a bite out of it? I feel like that'd be too much for me. I know that's the intention, but like way too much for me. I like onions quite a lot. I don't think I could take a bite out of an onion. What kind of PC do you have? I made it myself already. I just recently upgraded it. But yeah, there's no exact thing for it. No name for it. I got like 4 bites before I couldn't eat anymore. Surprised you got that far, to be honest. Did you at least take the skin off? And was it a white onion or a red onion? Can we trade computers? No, I spent a lot of money on this computer, Jinky. To be fair to myself, this was over like probably 2.5 to 3 iterations of this computer, but I've probably spent over $2,000 to $2,500 on this computer. That's 3 different graphics cards though, so that was by far the most expensive part each time, and 2 different sets of monitors. These current monitors are really good. I'm really hoping they last a long time. I noticed one has a dead pixel, but it's not near the middle or anything, so I'm not too worried about it. You need advice for the storage system on your farm. I feel like part of it, most of you got to do what feels good for you. Color coding chests is just a really good idea in general. You might think you like know where everything is, but something about the colors like makes your mind think quicker about that sort of thing. You can't ask a science question. It might be 1 per day. I know. That doesn't seem right though, because you asked do a space question, Hannah. And then just make it a science question. That's fine with me. Mine also has dead pixels. They're so similar. Yeah, sure. Very similar. Exactly the same, in fact. Alright. Why does a heavy rock and coin, when thrown out of a window, reach the ground at the same time, even though the stone is way heavier? Ooh, we just did this in class. So, the speed an object falls on any planet has nothing to do with the... well, it does have something to do with the acceleration due to gravity. But the mass of the object that's falling is not a factor in it. It only has to do with the aerodynamics if there's air resistance, and nothing if there's no air resistance at all. It has to do with the fact that the force of gravity acting on an object cancels out with the... so the force of gravity that's pulling down on an object by the law of gravitational fields, so basically the Earth pulling on the object, cancels out with the force of gravity that object is experiencing weight, so the masses cancel out. So it only relies on that distance the object is from the center of the planet. So all objects accelerate on Earth at negative 9.8 meters per second squared. I guess that's technically a space question as well. Hey, Dr. Worm, it's good to see ya. How you been? Yeah. So it's just something about how gravity fields work. Morning, it's 10:20 p.m. Definitely not 10:20 p.m. already. It's also morning somewhere. $2:21 somewhere. Dang you West Coasters and your early time. It's 5:30 here. 9:20 a.m. where you are? Nice. You live in Wales? Oh, really? That's really cool. I want to visit Wales at some point. I kind of want to just go on a UK trip. I've already been to Ireland. I'd want to go back, to be honest. I thought about that for a long time. Basically non-stop since I was last in Ireland. I wanted to go back to Ireland. You're from Spain, Zach? I think I knew that. You go to Iceland? I've been to Iceland. I do need to go back to Iceland because I didn't get to see like the natural stuff because there was a bad storm. So I spent the entire trip in Reykjavik, which is very nice, but that's kind of not why I went to Iceland. We went to the Blue Lagoon too, which is kind of touristy, but also a giant hot spring, so it was nice. Yeah, my trips to Europe so far have been to Iceland, which is barely in Europe, and Ireland, which is very much on the edge of Europe. I'm like slowly getting closer to the center of mass. Wales is cool. Italy's the best. Ooh. There's a lot of places I want to go to. One of the perks of being a teacher is I get to go to those places during the summer if I want to. Omni's lost? Yeah, I mean, I expect that. Oh, I was off by 1. 694, not 693. My best friend is from Wales. She's lovely, so I assume all of Wales is lovely. I've heard it's actually really nice, yeah. I would definitely be up for a visit. I want to go see some castles. We didn't really get to see a lot of castles in Ireland. That's something I really wanted to see. We saw one, but it was like... I don't know what the best word for it is. It was in a park. And it was more of just kind of like... You walk around it, and I guess that's kind of the whole point of a castle, isn't it? It didn't look very medieval, I guess would be the best way to put it. Yeah, Sardi, I teach science. Lots of castles in Wales. I have heard that, yep. You have a dragon on your flag, so that's enough reason to go. To see the castles in Germany? I would like to. You inviting me? Oh no. Iceland's not like, I mean, I haven't been to Antarctica, but I was there in the middle of winter and there really wasn't that much snow. So I imagine Antarctica's not like that at all. There is snow. Let's go on a castle tour in Germany. Oh, please. I'm definitely up for that. I want to go to Germany for a long time. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. My goodness, I can't even talk right today. It would be fun to go speak a little Deutsch in Germany. I would like to live in a castle. Yes, me too, Frazzle. I want to, Last of Us, the show, has got me in the mood to watch more zombie things. I might read the, Walking Dead comics, because I've heard they're very good. You should do German streams. I can't speak that much German. I can speak that phrase, and like, Hallo, ich heiße Ryan. Wie heißt du? About it. Wie geht's? Sehr gut. We already did that thing there. This is so funny. I imagine my German is not particularly up to snuff. Would probably be the word I'd use. Sorry, Zach, what were you talking about? You found a great place to farm omnis? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, those are tough to find, so I'm glad you got a good one. It sounds amazing. Really? I took up to German 3, but I didn't in my high school. But I was never particularly good at it, even when I was taking the class. Yeah, that's perfect, Zach. Alright, we're gonna go grab our magic rock candy. Might as well grab all of this while we're here, huh? You speak any other languages? English, somewhat. I'm not very proficient, but that's about it. And then I can count to like 15 in 3 languages, and that's about it. Un, deux, trois. Wait, I don't remember 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Is that 15 in Spanish? Un, deux, trois. I don't remember the rest of French. 4 is cat. Les chatons? Hey, yeah, they're welcome in. What? Dance? I feel like you're all lying to me. Chaton would be a cat in French, right? Don't ask me how I know that, although it should be obvious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
Oh, it's a person.
22, 23. It's been a while since I've said German German words. You said dance instead of das? I have no idea. Un, deux, trois. I don't know which one you were talking about. It's hilarious, Anna? Now I'm worried I'm embarrassing myself. German numbers make sense for the most part. Pass Wolf. Cat is chat or chatte. Oh, chaton. I didn't realize this was a viable spot for... Interesting. Okay. No, you're not. Don't worry. Then why are you laughing? I have German numbers, but French numbers are even worse. I swear I used to know French up to 15. My dad spoke French, I think from high school, but he like continued it on a bit in college. So he's taught me a few words like vucha means foot. I don't remember why I remember that specifically. Chaton is kitten. Got it. That would make sense, yes. Baguette? That's French, right? What are some other French words? What's the French word for wine? Is it just wine? Probably not. Took it for 2 years, showing you don't remember it. Your name was Helen. Oh, we did pick names in German. I remember that. I wanted Zwolf, but I think I went with Rudy. Yes, I just now remember that. Like, I haven't thought about that in years, but I think I was Rudy. Michigan is a very cool state. I quite like Michigan a lot. You know? Like, I would just put the same accent on every foreign language. Like, they're all the same. Honestly, as far as Michigan goes, I don't know if there's a state I'd rather live in. There is one, I haven't been there long enough to know that for sure. I think it's just really chill here. There's a lot of history behind that, Artie, but the reason it was designed that way was to give the states more power. It's probably the best way to put it. It was intentionally designed to give some states more power than other states. Because some states were more powerful than other states when that system was designed. So that's why the Electoral College exists. It's designed to do exactly what it's doing. It's just now we don't necessarily agree with that. I see, man. Did you give your students any homework today? Yes. I usually do. Not all of them, though. Some of them had multiple days in class to do their homework, so it should be done anyways. And it did all the things we designed it to do. Yes, I don't think the Electoral College is working properly as of now. It's not doing what it was supposed to do anymore. And I don't think the need for it still exists. In the same way, at least. You were Zwolf? You wanted Zwolf as well? It's a fun name, isn't it? It was always the plan. Put the world in your hands. Spanish is your first language, Español? ¿Cómo se llama? How many languages can I mix together? I love Bo Burnham. Hard not to. Dude is very lovable. Espanol. How the heck do you say it, Anna? Let's hear how you say it. What is the Elector College? It is something in the US that basically makes it so the states kind of determine who the victor of the presidential election is. The popular vote in a state determines how many votes a certain state gives to the president. And so if a state is like 55% for one candidate and 45% for the other, the entire state votes for that one candidate that was 55. Some states don't work exactly like that, but the vast majority do. So that's how someone can get elected with a minority of the popular vote. Because the vote is split kind of weirdly like that. Dang it. Come here. There we go. Yeah. It was basically a compromise because the bigger states wanted more power when the United States was formed. In some ways, like, they were right to say that because they had more people. So rather than giving each state an equal vote, it was determined to do it like that. Actually, that was probably never on the table. That was the compromise for how the Constitution was made, though. And it will probably never be abolished. Though, there is a sneaky plan to make it irrelevant. America is kind of strange. A lot of places are kind of strange, to be fair. Very good, Zach. Yeah, that's a much better spot for you. Miyamo Zach. I'm not putting in my actual name. Your actual name's not Zach? Oh my gosh, I feel like I've been lied to my whole life. Got it, got it. You don't have to tell me your real name. I was mostly making a joke. Zacharias. Zacharias is a sweet name. And if I was named Zacharias, I would go by Zacharias. People would call me Zach and I'd be like, no. Wrong. Zach, Zach, or Zachary. I'm glad there's no H at least, Zach. Got that going for you. At the very least, Pink Puff, all states should split their votes. Like Maine and some of the other states do. I don't even remember which ones do it. Nebraska, I think? Unfortunately, the idea of abolishing the Electoral College is very difficult to achieve in reality. That is true, Anna. I go by Algo because that's my screen name. You can call me Ryan if you want. Dang, I missed. My name is Soup for real. What would it be like to be named Soup? Soup is like delicious though. I wouldn't even mind. Call me Soup. Actually, that might get confusing now. Name's actually Daniels. Here, let's clean this up here. We got too many batteries. Gonna overflow with power. Oh, you like my profile picture? Yeah, Onion made it. Onion did an amazing job with it. I really like it too. Just like randomly, Onion just showed up one day and was like, hey, I'm gonna draw you. And I was like, what? This is when I had like 200 followers. And Onion drew me, and it was so awesome. It was incredible. My name is Worm IRL, but only to my family. Hey, Kianis, how are you doing? Welcome in. Getting closer. Zerakai. It's probably something that has the word Zach in it, but it doesn't start with Zach. Although I cannot think of anything that does that. The childhood nickname. How do you get big on Twitch? I don't know if I'm the person to ask that. I'll let you know when I get big on Twitch. What if it's just Zach? My real name is Barack Obama. Mr. Obama, what are you doing here? Don't you have... Well, you're on vacation probably, right? My oldest cat and favorite Pokemon game. Good, Nate. That's a good combo right there. Emerald is a really good game. I bet Emerald is technically my favorite too, but I never played it, so my favorite's Ruby. 53 viewers is poppin', yeah. Poppin'. I wouldn't call it big. But it's fine, because I love each and every one of you here. Let's try not to talk too much about politics, Artie. Whether I agree with that statement or not, let's not try and get people into fights down there. Zaraquai. I don't even know if there's a K in there. It's a cool name though. I feel like if that was my name, I wouldn't go by I wouldn't go by Zach, I'd go by that. We should probably stop trying to guess Zach's name, by the way. Unless they gave explicit permission. Oh, okay, well, we found it, I guess. Yeah, it's fine, Marty. People get a little passionate, and I just want to make sure everyone's being cozy in chat. Yeah, it's honestly a good decision, Worm. You are the smart one here. I mean, you're all smart in your own ways. My mom and Al think I'm smart. Well, that's two people that believe in you. That's all you need, right? Grab that. And that should be good. We don't need to throw hands in here unless it's a duel. Yeah, exactly, Sloppy. Yeah, it's kind of my goal already. I mean, I kind of stream for stress relief. It's very effective for me. So it's good that I can share that with other people if they also need to chill out. You have pecan pie and ice cream. Also good stress relief. Good timing on that. Man, I haven't had pecan pie in a while. I used to love it as a kid. It's a little too sweet for me now. It depends on the pie, too. Look at these name attempts. Oh my goodness. Y'all are just too much, man. Hey. It's kind of weird, Razzle, to think about that, because, like, aren't you just adding more sweetness? But, like, you're totally right, I think. I guess it, like, spreads, it, like, mellows it, as it adds, like, that ice cream flavor first. Hey, golden coconut. We'll take that. Witch, how are you doing? Welcome in. Alright, I am going to spend the rest of the day looking for Beach Forge. I think I bought vanilla ice cream bars dipped in chocolate and almonds. Oh, that does sound delicious.
Yes, science!
Slothy, do you all have those Klondike bars in Canada? I would assume you do. Seems like it makes sense, right? So, they used to have Klondike bars that were coated in caramel rather than chocolate, and I used to be able to eat those. I can't have chocolate because I'm allergic. And those Klondike bars with caramel were so delicious. And now they don't have them anymore, and that makes me sad. Anyways, that's my story. The Reese's peanut butter ones, yeah. Again, unfortunately chocolate. But yeah, I bet they'd be delicious. There are ice cream sandwiches that are like vanilla ice cream sandwiches, and those are actually really good. When I got it for the first time, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Yes, I'm allergic to the like actual cocoa in chocolate. So I can't even have white chocolate. White chocolate was actually the last time I had a reaction, because I had a bunch of white chocolate. Ooh, I just about took that out of the shell out. 5 left. Y'all are like losing at this Family Feud tier difficulty here. That's not a big deal, Slothy. I've got plenty of other candy that I enjoy. I can also have red velvet cake, despite it like having cocoa powder. It's just because it has so little in it that it doesn't affect me. But like solid chocolate, just no chance. Yes, Slothy. I don't love them, to be honest, the butterscotch dip. I don't know what it is about the flavor, but I don't like it that much. It's funny because I usually really like butterscotch. Like, I make butterscotch cookies all the time. Like, they're delicious. Butterscotch oatmeal scotchies is what we call them. They're oatmeal cookies with butterscotches in them. Just like a little too much when it's the whole dip. If I go to Dairy Queen, I usually get a caramel sundae, and I just get it coated in sprinkles. I like sprinkles. I haven't had the dips in a long time, so maybe I'd like them more now. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'll just... Okay. I accidentally just brought up some weird menu for my graphics card. It's usually a go to the hospital reaction, though it's been a while, Frazzle. It closes up my throat, so not being able to breathe is usually not ideal, generally. Last time it happened, I didn't go to the hospital, but I probably should have. That gives you an indication. Yes, you do need to breathe. Yeah, it's all over the US, and I guess Canada too. Hey Abby, how are you doing today? Without fighting any monsters, pick up a sword, girl. Destroy your enemies. The Dairy Queen near me that I kind of grew up with only had ice cream, so I was very surprised when I went to another Dairy Queen like further away, and they had like food. It was like, wait, I didn't know you did this. It wasn't very good food, as it turned out. So I usually stick with the ice cream now. Each one is slightly different. Ah, okay. It tasted delicious to me because we just went on a hike. This is when I was in Boy Scouts. We just went on like a 20-mile hike that day, and we ended up at a Dairy Queen. That was like extremely bland food that had never tasted better in my life. Food is no good, yep. I'll go as a Boy Scout? Yes, I was a Boy Scout. I got my eagle. Were you a good Boy Scout? Some might say I'm the best. No, no one says that, except maybe my dad. Actually, he wouldn't say that either, because he was a Boy Scout too, and he's competitive about it. You sell cookies? We actually sold, weirdly enough, wreaths. Most Boy Scouts sell popcorn, but our troop was special. We sold wreaths, so we'd go door to door and sell like wreath and garland, so, like Christmas time stuff, and we made bank doing that. We might have upsold them quite a bit. Sorry to hear that, anime, but if you are joking about that, please don't make jokes like that in here. I thought you were asking me, and I'm like, no, I'm not from Barcelona. I know it sounds like I am, but... Yes, Girl Scout cookies, I don't know. I feel like they've been pretty mid lately. Like, I can't have the chocolate ones, admittedly, so maybe the Thin Mints are still good, but... The ones I've had lately have not been super good. We never sold apples. We cleared out an apple orchard. That was a school project. I mean, an Eagle Scout project that someone had. Hey, Canyon Lights. How are you doing? Welcome in. You missed the last 2 streams? You didn't miss too much. We've just been doing our various things, grabbing the stuff that we need, hanging out, chilling here in chat. If you are curious about anything you might have missed, feel free to ask questions, but I can't remember anything specific. We finished cooking, but I think that was more than 2 streams ago. They switched to bakers who make cookies in your, well, not in a province, but yeah, I see what you mean. It might be. I used to really like the butter ones, whatever they're called. Like, I had some recently and they just kind of tasted really bleh. Oh, so provinces are Canadian. So states in the US and Canada has provinces. They're just a way of dividing up like land by geography and culture. Canada does also have territories. So does the US. Oh yeah, I wasn't really counting territories in there because they're usually part of the country, but like slightly different in some way or another. Provinces are more than Canada? What? What does that mean, Frazzle? Oh, Canada. Guys, come on. Guys, get hit. Dang, today has been insane for radioactive ore. Uh-oh. We actually have... Oh, not sit-ups. Admittedly, we have not done sit-ups in a while, you're right. Alright, let's get done with the day, and then I'll do some sit-ups. So much ore? Yeah, 74 is a lot for a single day. We're not done yet, either. Although, we're getting pretty close to being done. Oh, dang it. I saw that slime too late. Trying to rush for ore. Can't be on this floor. Ooh, yeah. Feel free. What exciting news do you have for us, Emerald? Share it with the world. My name is Catherine. My siblings' names both start with C, so everyone wonders why I'm not Catherine. Probably for exactly that reason. I know a lot of families that had started all their siblings with the same letter. And it's only ever been really confusing, especially when they're twins. Like, just... why? Why do you feel like you need to alliterate your children's names? Oh my gosh, that's insane, Emerald! Congratulations! That's really cool. Are you excited? Well, I mean, of course you're excited about it. Look at those slothy hype emotes. Slothy party time emotes, I should say. That's really sweet. Is that something you've been working for a while? Or is it just something that fell into your lap you're taking advantage of? That sounds bad, like I mean that in a bad way, but I don't. How do you pronounce that in Spanish? Zarakai. Sakurai? Sakurai. Just making things up, by the way. I have no idea. Get out of my inventory. I might want to keep you if you stay there. How did we do? 3 and 2. Terribly, but we got lots of radioactive ore. Alright, we gotta do sit-ups. Say good morning to our lovely Leah. And get out of our house and do some sit-ups. Okay. Because your parents are French. Good neck. Alright, let's go base cam. Excited for it. I've been working very hard, but I've actually never been a manager of anything before, so you're incredibly nervous and sad. My best friend is leaving. Oh no. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. That's exciting though. Yeah, being a manager, I was an assistant manager, so I guess that's not exactly the same. No, it is a different experience for sure. But you got this. You're gonna do great. What kind of coffee stall is it? Is it like a franchise that's like popular, or is it kind of like a mom and pop thing? Let's make you face. This isn't the cleanest, but there's not really any other way I can do this. Sorry, you have to see all the wires on the ground. All these terrifying wires. It is a mom and pop shop. That's so exciting. I really love like little coffee stalls like that. I think they're really cool. I wish I could see more of them. Around my area, there really aren't that many. It's just all Starbucks. Alright, here we go. Let's... Am I gonna be... God? Like here. Not in the show. So, maybe if we point down slightly. Down, look down. Who said cringe? Wires cringe, yeah. God forbid I charge things, Slothy. Okay, how am I now? That's pretty decent. A little lopsided, but you guys are gonna take what you can get. Alright, ready? Sit-ups are the hardest for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Alright, there we go. Did you guys miss me? You missed 8, counted 3. Excellent, that means I did good. Good to hear it. How dare you charge things? Congrats, thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it Menonin? Menonin. Welcome in. You said hi earlier and I didn't say anything. I feel really bad now. I remember seeing that name and then not saying anything. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Well, welcome in. I hope you're doing great. Your name is Cecirio? It's a cool name. And someone called Milk and Cookies followed 30 minutes ago. I'm so sorry I missed that. Thank you so much for the follow. It's good to see you. Welcome in. I try not to miss people, so I'm very sorry about that. Oh, game. The Stardew Valley Awards, Slothy? What is that? You can vote for me? Like, with your vote? Do I have that, by the way? I think I do. Yes, I do. Thank you, Frezzle. Beat me to it. Let me actually, yeah. There's not really room for it in my title because it's art, so I have to keep it that way. You should go to sleep. What? It's like 11:30 in Spain. You're fine. No. If you need to go to sleep, Zach, thanks so much. Brave Challenge Runner, that is an option. And somehow favorite Twitch streamer. I have no idea how that happened, but if you want to vote for me, feel free. No, this is the actual award now, Slothy. These votes are. These votes are for the actual awards, aren't they? Unless I'm misunderstanding it. Yeah, I was nominated, yes. I was nominated for favorite challenge runner. Not Rising Star. Is it best new streamer, I think it's called? The one that started last year. So a streamer that started last year. And then I think best Twitch streamer, which I don't know how that happened. So awesome. Thank you all so much for that. I somehow made that list. And I'm glad to have made all of the lists that I made. They're all really awesome. Thank you all so much for the nominations. Thank you, Wedge. I wonder if we'll get like little extra rewards. I imagine we'll get like certificates is what I'm guessing. But I don't know personally, actually. And if I did know, I probably wouldn't tell you. Because it's supposed to be a surprise, I'm sure. Hey DMNC, welcome in. How are you doing today? Stacking is going really well. Little plaques. If I got an award plaque, it would go right back there. Speaking of which, no one told me my camera was like way off. Fill out camera. This way. Perfect. Because I was part of the Perfection Marathon? I mean, there's a lot of people part of the Perfection Marathon. I don't know what you mean by that, Frazzle, exactly. Oh, I am about to send an ad, so I apologize to those of you about to get it. Okay. How dare you? Sorry, Zach. And Coral just got in the way. Yeah, there's 3 pages of categories. If you're not sure, you don't have to vote. I do have some recommendations, though, if you're... No, I don't want to sway the vote too much. One way or another. Just vote for who you like. You don't have to fill out... You can pick a first place. You don't have to pick a second or third. So if you only know, like, one streamer in a category, feel free to just do the one streamer. There's a lot of really cool people on there, though. So if you haven't heard of them, I suggest checking them out. Everyone on there is a cool person. As a light recommendation, Slothy is on there in a lot of places, so if you're unsure, Slothy's not a bad option. Oh, I see. I got confused. That makes sense. Yes, the Perfection Marathon is one of the nominated events. But technically, since I was in there, I was also nominated for... Okay. Thank you, Slothy. You were also in that, too. There you go. You didn't get the ad? Oh, congratulations, Zach. But now I know you're avoiding bed. And now Slothy. There you go. Yeah, and you should check out some of the cozy Stardew streamers. Don't get me wrong, I also only watched Habu, Piano, and Chord for like... And Blade when I was able to. For quite a while. Probably like a year of my time on Twitch was spent just watching them, pretty much. Them and Baba, who streams Civ 5, and Arvius, who streams Civ 5 as well. But I met all these really cool people who stream on Twitch, and they're all awesome. Yeah, that's true as well. You don't have to vote for everything. So if there's a category you only know like one person in, feel free to just vote for that one person if you want to. I think that's a really good setup where you don't have to vote. Just if you want to. Oh, Sneakers is coming back. Bring me the boy. The boy belongs to me. I should make a challenge every time I make a title. The first person to tell me what the song is that it's from, it's like 1 algo point or something. Whatever that means. Yeah. I'm a pretty big lurker. I was like an extreme lurker before I started streaming, where I'd only talk like very, very rarely, and I still don't talk that often. So I lurk in a lot of channels, but I usually don't talk too much. It's funny because a lot of the first messages I'll put in channels will just be like, I've been there for an hour, and then someone will ask a question, like the streamer will ask a question related to Stardew, and I'll just answer. I imagine that's often what Blade does too, because that's usually what happens when I see Blade jump into the stream. Usually something along the lines of, I'm like, is that how that works? And Blade's like, yes. Me all the way, yeah. I used to just like not talk in Twitch chat for like a year. Maybe I'd ask like a random question or two, and then I'd be like scared. Like, oh my god, what's the streamer gonna say? He's gonna say my name. Me when you said hi to me when you asked a question. Yeah, that's true as well, Jake. Some streamers I feel like more comfortable talking in their chats. I don't know how I decide that. It's like a weird mental thing. Now you know my name. I'll be honest. Your name was written like 80 different times. I have zero clue which one was yours, Zach. I'm gonna call you Zach if that's alright. There was a lot of back and forth on that. Zachary? I'm definitely saying that wrong, so apologies. Your lurking level depends if you're at work or not. Yeah. Unfortunately, I definitely cannot watch streams at work, except for like on my lunch for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes. And usually I spend almost all my time at work working because I want to not work after work hours, which I'm kind of required to do if I don't get it done because I got to get my lesson plans done and stuff. I need to go grab staircases? Yeah. I really hate it when mods I have no idea. I've never had that happen to me, Kiana. At least not that I can think of. But I'm sorry to hear that that happened to you. When I started using Twitch again about 2 years ago, I was caring about being a first-time chatter. Then I had a, what's up, everybody? I think Doc should vote. Wait, Jake, that's what that's from? I had no idea. That's actually incredible. I actually did not know that's what that was from. I saw it on Lee's Kudo board. .999 out of 1,000 people get it wrong on the first try. Sleep time for you, Zach? Alright, good night. I'm sorry the mystery of your name was discovered. You stole it from a McElroy video?
Coconuts, 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 coconuts.
Thank you, Zach. McElroy are the, they do D&D stuff, right? Or they did. I don't know if they still do D&D stuff. Or something similar to D&D. Sounds familiar to me. I think that's what I'm remembering. Oh, bye, Anna. Thanks so much for hanging out today. A good night to Zach and to you, Anna. Have a wonderful rest of your sleep. Good time zones to you. Come here, Tiggy. Wow, you do not want to die, do you? Stop it. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. No one look at the screen. You still have yet to get an auto petter and it's upsetting? That does sound upsetting. Keep diving, you'll get one. The video was from Griffin and Justin doing what's called a Monster Factory. What was called a Monster Factory. They have a very popular actual play podcast. Yeah, the Adventure Zone. That's the name of it. I remember now. Yeah. I haven't really watched it at all. I've just heard of it before. I've been thinking a lot about D&D lately because I'm plotting a campaign out for a few lovely individuals. So, like, my brain power has been like 50% on D&D lately. You finally got the Q Fruit quest. Yes. Year 4. Good deal. You only need to do it once, Frazzle, if you do it well. Alright, we're gonna go to the mines. I've had a lot of world building on my mind. I've been reading and watching a lot of videos about story structure. And I'm planning out, like... I think it's just like multiple intersecting stories that I want to have going. And I'm trying to make them cohesive at the moment. They all fit together nicely. They share a theme and characters that jump between them. It's been fun to try and work out. Working on your own Pathfinder campaign in the background. Ooh, that's exciting. Anything you want to share? I have to keep mine a secret because there are lurkers here who might be in my campaign. You have enough to get all the artisan I need. I might be able to actually complete the quest too. Interesting. Wait, Frazzle, you have to turn Q Fruit into like essential oils. Because you might need more than one if that's the case. Yep. You might have to take more than one quest. I barely got enough for the wine and the jelly. Ah, let me out of here. To be fair, I didn't do as well as I could have. You probably have more crop space too on a modded farm, huh? I have my ways. What a great way to put it, Frazzle. Essential oils. Frazzle has a mod that adds a bunch of artisan goods to the game. One of those artisan goods is like essential oils slash some other stuff too. I think there's a lotion thing too. I remember the essential oil one because it's funny to me. Hey Amaze, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. You have about 1.5k hours on your main farm. Wait, you're only on year 4? Or is this a different farm? I'd be pretty impressed if you managed to get 1.5k hours on in 4 years. That's like several hours a day. Oh, 1.5k spots for farming. Okay, yeah, there we go. That makes more sense. Ooh, I'm designing a city in the desert with a dried out sea full of shipwrecks next to a city with a lot of treasure that can go found if you go deep. Oh, that sounds exciting. Are you gonna have sandworms? Like, it's derivative, but they're so awesome. I have sandworms. I'm not ashamed of it. What are your dangers of the desert, if not sandworms, as well? I'm curious. I also have a big desert area called Everlight, where the sun never stops shining, and it's like extremely dangerous to stay there for long periods of time. Like, the sun starts to burn you alive. You start taking damage over time if you're there for more than a few hours without like cover or precautions. Which makes it very difficult to explore. Sandworms sound like fun for the DM. They're fun for the players too. Players love spectacle, even if they don't always admit it. They love like seeing larger than life things and like just barely getting away from them or defeating them by the skin of their teeth. They love that so much. Well, that was kind of cool. I was only animation canceling to grab the seaweed, but I also killed the enemy. Ooh, undead in the shipwrecks. That's exciting. How big are the ships? Are they like ancient ships? They're like from the previous civilization? Or they're just like regular ships? Ooh, good floor. More sorts of things that fit into the water theme. It'd be cool to see like something that maybe like mutated somehow, where it used to be like a water creature, but it now is like a desert creature. So you'd have like whales, but they move through the sand instead. That's something I'd like to see. That'd be cool. Come on. Where are my shells? I always think of like aberrations as like somewhat alien creatures, right? From like different dimensions or planes. But you're making me think, like, maybe I don't have enough in my world. Because I can't really think of where I'd place them. The Underdark has a bunch, but, like, it's the only place I feel like that does. Maybe I should make some in the ruins. Hey, that happened again! We got another, stone golem on the, water floors. Years old, time forgotten. Ah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to explore that. Why are they not like already picked over though? Or is it just like a gold rush that's happening now? Like they've just recently rediscovered, so people are now just flocking to them while they still have stuff left in them? Or are they so difficult to get to that people aren't able to loot them? Ah, that's why they have to go deep to get anything, because the surface stuff has been looted. Okay, that makes sense. Come on. Jump. Good. Going deeper means more risk. Yeah, players in D&D tend not to be, or in your case, Pathfinder, tend not to be risk adverse. That's what I've noticed. You can warn them pretty thoroughly, and they usually don't care. Oh, it's more dangerous? Cool. Allow myself to go even deeper. I'm interested, because it's looking like I'm gonna have a a lot of veteran, like 3 veteran players and 2 like new players. So I'm interested how that's going to change the dynamic. Last time I played, I had all new players who were all veterans by the time we got to the end of the campaign because it was a 3-year campaign. So I kind of got to watch them grow up with D&D. Ace, how are you doing? Welcome in. That's probably what's going to happen, yeah. Hey! Need through! Need my radioactive ore. I love playing with new players. They always do stupid stuff in the most fun way. Yeah, they haven't been like... I don't know. I think like a lot of things in RPGs kind of get taught to you at some point. You stop doing like your own thing after a little bit. Which I try to avoid that, but like I fall into that same pitfall as well. It's like new players will do like the most insane stuff and I'm like, yeah, you go. That's sweet. They're also very prone to being murder hobo-y, whatever it's called. Really prone to kill things without thinking about it. Haboo and friends. Oh god, that's the first thing you guys heard. We're not talking about murder. It's something else probably. Welcome in, everyone. How are we doing today? Haboo, how was the rest of your stream? I hope you got several hats, if not all of them. I imagine you haven't quite finished yet, based on where I last saw you, though. Batstaff, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I saw you, Jess, by the way. How are you doing today? Let me go ahead and pause real quick here. Let's see, Big Cam. Say hi to everyone, Sneakers. And let's say our quick hellos here. That other person, Spaghetti Squish, Haboo, Vivive, Lambelle, HP, Keyblade Hero, Impossible Girl, Jess, is it Steak Guy, Mermaid, Starcraft. Haboo came in to get my hat. You can't have sneakers. I'm sorry, Haboo. Vivive, 4 hats left. That's really sweet. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful time. You've been doing research? Yeah, I'm sure. That's what you tell me every day. I hope you're all having a wonderful time today. I hope the hats went well. And Haboo, I know you were streaming for probably quite a while today. So if you do need to go rest up and relax, feel free to do so. Thank you so much for bringing your community on over here. Lee Chaton, I was about to introduce myself. Come on, no. Lee Chaton, thank you so much for the resubscription. Welcome back to the stack for the 5th month. Please enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. And for those of you who do not know me, by the way, I am the algorithm. This is Sneakers. I'm doing a challenge where I'm collecting 999 of every stackable item in the game, as Mermaid has just demonstrated there with the 999 command. Clean up my inventory really quick here. What is Living Fiber Hat? No. Only items that stack. Yep, so the rule of the challenge is I need to have all the items that can stack in a single stack. So, for instance, an example of this is like, I cannot count these 42 rainbow shells with these because it's not in a single stack. So I need to get I need 999 in this stack. Dig out still on Big Cam? That would make it a little harder to tell what I'm talking about, wouldn't it? Hope you're doing well, by the way, Lee Chaton. It's going to be tough for me to do this here. But let me quickly shout some people out. For those of you who do not know the Haboo, Haboo is pretty much my inspiration for starting streaming in the first place. Does really cool challenge runs in Stardew Valley and speed runs as well. Lee Chaton at Lichat is a really cozy, super awesome streamer here on Twitch. And Jess, the Valiant Sun, does math sometimes, and also speedruns Stardew Valley. All three of them are extremely awesome people, and you should give them a follow. Yeah, checklist is a really good way to check the progress really easily. I think, that's weird. I don't know why that didn't work, Canyon. I think Nightbot is freaking out right now. What's my progress? Yeah. So, it's scrolling across the bottom there a little bit. Although the artifacts isn't exactly correct. Does math sometimes is a good descriptor. I try my best, Jess. I've probably made... So my spreadsheet of total items I need, I'm 90% done, just about. But for my checklist, which is amount of stacks stacked, so basically amount of items that I have completed the stacks for, it's about 75%, I think. Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, Frazzle. I was looking at Jess's channel the other day, and wow, Jess. That's incredible. I'm so happy for you. Your follower count just kind of, that's so insane. When are you gonna do your 1,000 follower special, Jess? That GDQ, crowd. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It was really cool. So I was looking up a list of like Stardew people and like who gained the most followers recently. I'm like, where's Jess? I can't. Oh, Jess is at the top. I'm very happy for you, Jess. That's awesome. I just did my 500 followers special. Well, you got to do it again. I imagine you can roll your 1,000 special into your birthday stream, huh? Just kind of like put them together. Yeah, Mermaid's got it, the idea. Yeah, Jess is incredible. If you guys are not following Jess, you should be. Birthday stream's coming up soon, if I remember correctly. Did you pick a date to move it to, Jess? I can't remember off the top of my head if you did or not.
Oh, it's personal.
We don't need spaghetti, so we won't go there. Red Week, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Soon, TM. Fair enough. If my train tomorrow doesn't get canceled. Yes. We are hoping for you, Jess. I know travel has not been treating you well lately. It has been voted cute and not cringe. I'm glad to hear that. I don't know, cringe graphics are kind of in right now, aren't they? I don't know why I'm saying that. That doesn't make any sense. I'm excited to see the graphic, though. Probably won't be able to check it for a few minutes, though. There we go. Lots of mushrooms. Alright, I think today...
Oh, it's person.
Hey, Sherbert. How are you doing today? That's actually a really cool name. I did not see that coming before I said it. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Alright, we're gonna probably go to the volcano today, which I'm sure if you're coming from Habu, you're already tired of seeing, huh? But we do a slightly different thing with the volcano, where we try to blow it up as much as possible, because I need something called a mummified bat, and to get the mummified bat, you need to blow up rocks in the volcano. It's about a 1 in 200 drop rate from the rocks in the volcano. So I have to blow up a lot of rocks, basically. So to maximize that effect, we bring this, and we bring these, and a recent addition, we bring that with us. We go boom, we go boom. So rather than rushing to the end like Habu's been doing lately for the pirate hat, we're gonna be blowing up every single rock we see. Nightbot did not like the term blowing up, as it turns out. You're thinking about fish pond manip? For what was it, mermaid? It would be similar to crop pattern manip? Really? Huh. Collect any chests for any rings we see? Yes, Farland. We'll get your rings. So Farland, I found out recently that you can put them in 2 different ways and get 2 different rings. Are we going to be counting both rings? So if you put in like 1 ring here and 1 ring here in the forge, it's different than if you do this. It's the same buffs and everything, but it looks different visually. Does it change the description? Oh, it changes the order of the description. That would make sense, yeah. I don't know if we're gonna do that. But maybe we have to. Am I legally obligated to do this? For anyone who's not understanding what's going on, Farland decided for me that I'm going to be getting all of the different ring combinations possible, since I have the time and a lot of rings. I don't even think the first one's very reasonable. Oh, I forgot my... Okay, well, we don't have a water, unfortunately. Rattlesnake, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're doing wonderfully today. Oops. Meant to drink you. And while I'm here, I'll also have that. And that. Wait, what does that work for, mermaid? Are you talking about fish ponds or crops right there? I placed that bomb at such a perfect time. It, like, ignored the sound of the bomb exploding. Oh. I was wondering why things were not exploding the way they should be. I need to put my napalm ring on. Interesting. For day advance. So wait, is the piano that is the pattern that piano was talking about for me, is that compromised by that, or will that still work? You're saying the pattern breaks, so it's got me worried now. Since when can we move crops, Algo? I mean, there's mods. RGB Ronnie, look at that. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for the follow. I think I just followed you on Twitch, didn't I? I hope you're doing well today.
Oh, it's a person.
Is it Hisanian? There's another syllable in there. Welcome in. Hello, ad. Oh, we got ads on right now, don't we? I'll wait to thank to the follows until after the ads. This is the pattern extrapolating over multiple days. Okay. So it should still work fine with the... Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying now. Somewhat. It should work, though. Alright, those ads are done now. So, RGB Ronnie and Kisananan, thank you both so much for the follows. Welcome in. If I remember correctly, let me check this. Yes, I'll just go with Ronnie, is that okay? My somewhat dyslexia is kicking in right now. Thank you for the follow. I found out, I don't know how I found this out now, but I'm gonna shout you out right now, because you stream, Stardew. And you looked really fun, so if you're looking for a cozy place to hang out, some, Stardew Valley, you should go check out Ronnie. I'm trying to think of, like, how I noticed. I was somewhere, and I saw your name, and I'm like... Wait, I don't recognize that name, which is weird, because I feel like I know all the people who play Stardew. And you look really fun, so I'm gonna go check you out next time you're live. I'll be there watching, just so you know. Probably not. I don't know if I'll be able to make it every single time. Or guaranteed next time. Yes. Nipping, actually, no. But laying it out like piano suggested, yes, mermaid. The golden coconuts are one of them. And the other one is cinder shards / dragon's teeth from stingray puns. Because it's going to take on the order of like 30 years otherwise. And if it's going to take 30 years anyways, I'd rather just be sleeping that time and only go out when I need to grab those stuff. Yeah, tiger slime eggs I think I'll be done with before I need to get them out of the ponds. I'm not too worried about those. The problem is I need so many cinder shards. Like, it's not particularly fair. Oh, glad to hear it. Welcome in, Ronnie. Come here.
Oh, it's a person.
And more cheese, please. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, lionfish gives tiger slime eggs. Thing is, I've already got like 200 of them. I might need a few more. I imagine by the time I get to them, I'm gonna have close to enough. Just from the good old-fashioned slaying. Oh, come on. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Hey, our first mummified bat somehow. I agree, I want more cheese, please. It's a very good name. Alright, gonna break these rocks. Ready? Dang it! I broke them anyways. I need to practice switching between my weapon and pick. I watch Joe do it and I like freak out. Like, how can you do it so cleanly and so fast? How often do you use magic rock candy? Not very often. I need to stack it, and so each one I eat takes away from that pretty significantly. So I don't really touch it. Kaboom. Yeah, you're probably right then, mermaid. It would probably be best to move. How do you get magic rock candy? You can buy it from the desert trader. Where's the button I missed? We're stuck here forever. You can buy from the desert trader. I'm actually stuck here. Guess we'll go do something else. Yes, haunted skulls do drop it with a terrible odd rate. That's correct. I forgot my watering can, so I could not open that. I knew I was forgetting something, too. I got in the volcano, and like, my inventory feels slightly less than it normally is. The wizard does what if you kill him? Excuse me? Good luck killing the wizard. Drops magic rock candy, obviously. That's called murder, Farland, and it's wrong. We don't kill people. Oh my gosh. The napalm ring is so fun. I'm gonna lose Fiddlehead here, mark my words, but I'm gonna enjoy it. Oh, I can't. Murder schmurder. Is there a mod that lets you kill NPCs? I'm afraid to ask why you're asking, so I'm not going to. Wait. I don't know if Blade's still hanging around, but you're here, Mermaid. I think you know the answer to this question. Did Blade use the napalm ring when killing the children? Wouldn't that, like, help immensely? Stream today, yes. How'd it go? Did that help or hurt it? 'Cause it probably also knocks them back. God is more chaotic than last time. Exciting. The fact you're unsure makes me very happy. That just feels like the correct state to be for that particular thing. For those of you who don't know, Blade found out that you can, well, I think it was kind of known, but you can turn your children into doves. But those doves give experience. Well, when you turn your child into a dove, they become like an evil spirit in the witch's hut that you can kill. And the more of your children you turn into doves, the more evil spirits appear in there. And they respawn every time you enter the door. So, Blade used this by making like 600 of them to like instantly get to combat 10 within a single day was the idea. But since there's no upper limit, you can technically have like thousands of these ancient dolls that want to kill you. And so Blade was like trying to kill them all, I guess would be the best way to put it. If you could add an endgame to Stardew, Stardew does have an endgame now. If I could add more. I've talked a little bit before. I think like a mountain, like a ski resort mountain would be kind of cool as another area. Concerned Ape has said pretty clearly that he's probably not going to add another area, but like that's the one I would pick. With like, you can make friends with a Yeti, that'd be really sweet. We have a tropical island. I feel like we don't have any like mountains, so it'd be like permanently winter there, kind of. Instead of like permanently summer like it is on the island. You can set it to one-hit kill on Smappy. An idea I had for a mod a very long time ago was an extension to the Secret Woods. After you gave old man Cannoli the sweet gemberry, he would like back up and open up a new clearing, and there would be like a dungeon back there, like similar to the mines, but it would be randomly generated, kind of like Skull Caverns. And like you could catch you could find like forage that was out of season back there. It would like randomize what season it was, and whenever you entered a new area, you could catch like fish out of season there. Now there's different ways to do that, but this was back before those ways existed. So I thought that was like a clever way you could integrate that into the game. These were the kinds of things I used to think about when I didn't stream, and I would just be playing the game. I feel like the napalm ring makes it harder to kill some of these. Ooh, Kitty, you got a space question? Hit me. All you gotta do is ask. Just an interesting fact. Ooh. Let me think here. I'll go with Mercury. So, for a while, planets used to be discovered because we could tell that their gravitational pull was being altered by something nearby. So we discovered Neptune this way. We kind of accidentally discovered Pluto this way, but they thought for a long time that's how they discovered Pluto. And after we'd done that, I'm saying we, it's specific people, but I don't remember their names. What we did was we noticed that Mercury had something weird going on with its orbit, and we're like, that's strange. That's not how planets should act. And so as a result of that, we're like, is there some other planet within the radius of Mercury, so close to the sun, that's so close to the sun that you can't see it? Because it's weird that we have Mercury acting this way. It shouldn't be acting this way. So for a long time we looked. Some people were certain it existed. all of those things were proven now to be like optical illusions. They were looking too close into their... They'd look in their telescope and look for the planet. They'd look really close into it, and like they would see their own eye in the telescope because they were really jamming it in there, and they thought it was the planet. But like independent astronomers also watching the same part of the sky wouldn't see it, so it was never proved to exist. The planet's name was Vulcan, even though it was never actually found. They gave it a name because the person thought they found it. It turned out, no, there is no planet there. The reason that Mercury acts weird has to do with general relativity, which wouldn't be discovered for another like 100 years or so after this, when Albert Einstein worked it out. And it turns out it perfectly accounts for Mercury's weird motion. The reason Mercury moves a little strangely is because it's so close to the sun, and that gravity, that large of a gravity, the sun slightly affects things' motion. Adding it to your knowledge bank. Enjoy adding it to your knowledge bank. Nature walk. Enjoy your nature walk, honey. Peace. Yeah, that's a fun one. You want another freebie? I just thought of something else that's really cool. So until recently, we only had one real way of discovering exoplanets. Well, we had two. One was just look at them. Turns out that one's really hard to do, unfortunately. The second one was measuring the light from a star. So an exoplanet is a planet around a star that's not the sun. So if you look out into the universe and see other stars, if they have planets, those are called exoplanets. So in order to discover them, what we do is we look at the light coming from a star and we watch it for a long time. And if it dims slightly, that probably means something passed in front of it. We have to be able to figure that out because stars kind of dim on their own sometimes too. So you have to take away the noise and figure out if it's actually a planet. And if it dims by a certain amount, you can figure out the size of the planet because it's blocking a certain amount of the light from the star. And also, you can do something called spectrography, or whatever it's called. I think it is spectrography, where you can look at the light coming from right on the edge of the planet, like that specific light. And if you look at that light, you're going to see different wavelengths missing from the light, and that tells us what elements are being blocked, or rather are giving off that light. And so if it's going through the planet's atmosphere, if it has an atmosphere, then we can tell what's in that atmosphere by the light moving through it. So that's kind of how we're able to tell planets that are far away, that we can't really see at all, like what their atmosphere might be made of. So that's why you see these new discoveries of exoplanets that might be like the Earth because they're a similar size. Although the recent one, probably not livable. It's very close to the star. That's another problem, though, is doing it by this method gives us very weird results. Because we're much more likely to see planets that are very close to their stars, because they go around the star much more often. And planets that are very large, because they block a lot of light. Yes, Farland, that would be a way, but we haven't seen any. Dyson Sphere or Dyson Swarm, either one, would be a very good indication that there's intelligent life, because that doesn't exactly happen naturally. We haven't done a Gamba today. Let's do a Gamba. Are we going to get more Omnis than everything else from the Statue of Endless Fortune? Vote now. Omni, thank you, Jess. Still says you're a Habu Raider. Can you believe? Can you believe it? Like you haven't been here the whole time, right? I wish the Raider tag would go away after like 5 messages. I feel like that's fine, right? Like that very clearly indicates. Here's our starting stats, by the way. Omnis are ahead by 2 to start out with the first 100. I'm kidding, Jazz. It was a joke. I know you weren't here the whole time. I looked for you. No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine? I did, though. When are you getting back, Jess? Is it going to be on, It said tomorrow, right? I did do a live ping, didn't I? My Discord does a live ping every single time. right there. I'm looking at it. Oh no, it didn't work. That's weird. Oh, it hasn't worked since... How come no one tells me these things? There's a bot that's supposed to do it automatically. It looks like it hasn't worked since the 13th of January. Okay, it's not your fault, Jess. I forgive you. It's my fault. It's actually Onion's fault. Onion's not here, so I'll take the responsibility. Hey, McBuffin stuff. Welcome in. How are you doing today? You have a little something in your hair? This is sneakers. What do computers and lions have in common? They use up a lot of RAM? Did I get it? That doesn't sound right. It's probably better. They both use megabytes. Dang, that was close. I feel like rams are probably not in the savannah, huh? You have fries? Of course you're doing well then. I'm doing good. We're doing an Omni Gamba right now. It looks like Omnis are doing pretty well to start off here. We'll see how they're doing after the sewers. Oh yeah, Frazzle, are you still... Oh, also, welcome in, Awkward Squirrel. Hope you're doing well today. I feel like I didn't say hi for some reason. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, Frazzle, do you have any statues of Endless Fortune, or do you even need them? I'm curious how that works in your world. Yeah, I was asking about statues of Endless Fortune and how they work in modded. Are they exactly the same? You get them the same way? They stack too? I'm just kind of curious. I have 6, but I'm not focusing on them. Yeah, you got lots of other stuff to buy. Sure, modded, you have tons of stuff to buy. How much are the tea sets, out of curiosity? They are the same as vanilla, though. I know you can buy tea sets, so awesome for you. But, like, how much are they? I made a mistake letting the dice decide which game I would 100% next, and you picked Darkest Dungeon. Garland, good luck to you, my friend. Expanded has new items that statues can make. Interesting, Kianis. You just buy all of them as soon as you can see them. Only 500 each, oh my gosh. I'm upset with you, Frazzle. I want you to know this. We're fighting right now. This is us fighting. We are always fighting. We're fighting now. Oh my gosh. Not only did Omni Geodes win, this is the first thing to ever break 200. And it did it by 8. Omnis were not playing today. What the heck? Believers, congratulations. This is the first time we broke 200 with any item, and it broke it by 8. That's insane. How many in-game years? We are on year 32 right now. Pretty soon to be 33. Oh, by the way, everyone, I found out I missed my 999-day celebration. I thought it was next year. It was this year. So we missed it. We have done over 999 days in Stardew since I started streaming. So everyone pat yourselves on the back. We did it. I smell something delicious. Uh-oh. Hey, Jess, you can't also be making food when I smell something delicious. It can't carry that far, can it? Enjoy your lurk. Yes, enjoy your food too. Oh, that's right. Squirrel, you're totally right. I haven't done playlists in like 3 months. You know what? Do me a favor, Squirrel. Ping me tomorrow and tell me to make playlists during the day, and I'll probably be able to do it. I'm definitely not going to remember unless you do that, though. Or if you write it as a comment on one of the videos, I won't see it until tomorrow, probably. And then that'll make it easier. Oh, do we have another? Oh, no. Space question was from earlier. We have a... Come on, game. Can I do this? Okay. Is it... Ali Tave? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Just like that, I'm now on year 10. Congratulations, Heather. You're probably farther than like 99.9% of Stardewers get. I'd actually like to see some stats on that. I don't think they could technically exist, but I would be very curious. I should make a poll on like the Stardew Valley Reddit or the... Can I make one on the Discord, you think? The Stardew Valley Discord? I feel like that would have a better representation of people. I think that could be fun to do. Just to see, like, what year is your furthest farm. I'm curious to see what the responses are. Make Algo do a workout or not. I've already done 2 today, Farland. I'll have you know. Hey TJ, farthest I got was on year 7. No seeds bought challenge. Oh, I gotta do this today, don't I? I guess it depends on our Q quest whether I'm doing that or not. Oh, I need to take you off. Not here. Oh, no seeds bought challenge. Okay, that makes sense, CJ. Alright, I got distracted. I haven't updated it, so that's why. But I have finished cooking. I don't update it every day. Well, I update it like I used to do it every year, and now I do it like every few, because not that much changes anymore. Okay. Before. Plus the ticker, I'm actually behind on the ticker by quite a bit because I don't think I updated it since the last one. Actually, no, I did. There's one change that I made that I forgot to update, though. We need to go by... Does anyone remember the number of wheat flour to turn into bread for this Q quest? It's a bunch. Alright, 9... Okay, so 1,667. Perfect. Thank you, Heather. I should know to count on someone that has a 10-year farm. Like how 10-year in tenure? Well, that's on purpose. Oh my god. Is that on purpose? Is 10 years supposed to sound like 10 years? Am I the last one to figure this out? Oh no, that's embarrassing. What single event do you think could happen on this farm that set you back the most? Like something I do or something that the game does? I don't think the game could do anything to harm this farm at this point. I would probably have made sure that wouldn't happen. How are you just not knowing? You know, I didn't come to my own stream to be embarrassed, Heather. Uh-oh. Fresh breads are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world in the 7 seas. Look at that fresh bread. I made one too many, but don't tell anyone. Aren't you supposed to be a teacher? Professors get tenure, teachers get pennies. Actually, you can get tenure too as a teacher. I shouldn't lie about that. I will mention that tenure definitely does not always happen at 10 years. It's so that's not exactly a one-to-one connection, but I see now where the word came from, at least. Yeah, tenure is just a thing that you can get when you work at a place that pretty much guarantees they cannot fire you for no reason. Obviously, if they have good cause, they still can, but... How did you get rotten plants? Very carefully. Here they are. A lot of failed attempts, and then one successful one is how I got rotten plants. So, you get a rotten plant when you leave a jack-o'-lantern on your farm, and it's winter. Overnight on winter. So, either on fall 28th until winter 1st, or any day in winter. And it's random. Well, it's not random, but it's basically random which one of these you get. But you can't predict it, and thanks to... Was it Underscore? I think it was Underscore. Told me the formula to figure out which one I'm going to get. So these were a bunch of failed attempts where I didn't get the right one. I finally did. I apologize for the ad. Brittany, oh my goodness! 6 months? Brittany, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome back to the stack. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. And this crooked camera for some reason. Let's go this way. There, now it's straighter. Do I also have to do that? Are you stacking things? Then yes. If you go to the Do Crew Discord and look for the only thread on the Discord, that thread has the information. I think it's in Stardew discussion or min-max discussion, one of those two. The only thread I think in the entire Discord has information about the rotten plants. Doing a full chest of items, yes, you'll definitely have to do it then, Giannis. Oh yes, and then for those of you who do not know Brittany, Brittany's a super cozy streamer here on Twitch. Does a lot of fun Stardew stuff. So you should go check them out. Hold on. Brittany Hitch, there we go. And where are we going next? I did this. Stardew. Starfruit. I gotta go get my starfruit. That's definitely not how that works, unfortunately, Frazzle. I'm fairly certain that's not how that works. I've gotten the same multiple days in a row. In fact, it was very common. Seems like you're much more likely to get the rotten plant with the little hair thing sticking out than you are the one that's like a big pile of junk. It worked that way for you. Maybe it's different in modded. I'm doing well, Brittany. Hope you're doing well too. I had like 7 days straight where it gave me just the regular. I ended up resetting the day. Like I went back a day in order to make it work. That's an option as well, Kianis. You can figure out what day is going to give it to you, and then you can revert to an old save and put down all the pumpkins. Yeah, big old pile of junk. I don't know what else to call it, Farland. It's like noticeably large. It takes up like the entire slot. Unlike the other rotten plant that just has like the little bit sticking out of it. I assume is the candle. Used to be a jack-o'-lantern. It's weird how it works, because I expected it to be like... So one of the times I did it, the first time, I was just like expecting it to be both of them, like randomly distributed, because you'd think that's how it would work, right? Like some of your rotten plants are going to be one type, some of them are going to be the other type, and it's going to be kind of random which one's which. but it's just entirely based on which day they decay on. So if you put them all down on one day, they're going to be one type of plant the next day. Rotten plant the next day. If you put them all down on a different day, they might be the other type of rotten plant that day. It strikes me as probable that maybe Concerned Ape had intended for it to be random, but instead of randomizing the... I don't know if this is possible because the code might not even look anything like this. Instead of randomizing, like, each one, it was just as a whole, somehow. It seems likely you'd want to randomize it, so you've got, like, 5 pumpkins, like, some of them are going to be one type, some of them are going to be the other type if they all rot on the same day. How was dinner, Brittany? Have anything lovely? Maybe it was a mistake, maybe it was just too difficult to implement, who knows. Logarithm, welcome in. How are you doing today? Every time I see your name, I think it's me. I should start looking at the whole name and not like the beginning and end like I always do. Hope you're doing well today, Logarithm. Relatable. Yeah. You don't have the beginning though. Every time someone says I'll go, I like sit up in my seat. I'm like, are they talking to me? I'll go over here. What? I'm doing good. I'm doing really well. This is going to be a long week, but we might have a snow day tomorrow. There is a possibility of that. If we do have a snow day tomorrow, I might stream. I can think of nothing better I'd want to do with my snow day. I don't have that problem with Logger. But if someone's talking about logging, I do love a good snow day. Your school canceled already? Probably worse than other places. You check if that happened, maybe. Hold on. There is an email. Someone just sent me an email titled $3. Okay. No cancellation notice yet. Blade's next video, can I max my luck skill in one day? I think you need a mod for that, Farland. From what I gathered from Blade's last video, at least one of the ways you can up your luck skill, or one of the ways that was supposed to up your luck skill, was finding a geode. So I think geode farming would probably be enough to go from 0 to 10. So that would probably be the answer to that, Farland. Unfortunately, it's probably just that simple. You'd probably be able to geode farm your way to it. Hey, Mysterious M. How are you doing today? It's lovely to see you on this fine evening. How much snow does there need to be? It varies from place to place. From what I've heard, if you're in the south, any amount of snow is a snow day. It takes, like, in Michigan here, it really has to be snowing, like, when the buses run. If the buses can't realistically safely drive to school, that's usually why there's a snow day. If the roads are too bad for the buses to make it to school in the morning, that's usually why you have a snow day. Basically, for everyone's safety, if you can't safely drive to school, you usually have a snow day. So, in Michigan, that's like if we get like 4 inches, like while we're supposed to be driving to school, like over that hour or two, then that would probably cancel school. It has to be like targeted at that time. Haven't had a snow day in 20 years. Oh, in the Northwest, yeah. You actually don't get like a ton of snow up there, right? I heard there was snow this year. I watch a streamer who lives in Seattle, and they had like a big snowstorm this year. Welcome back, Mermaid. It's good to see you. Please don't make Blade Ding City again. Don't you want to hear more Hamilton? I live in Southern California. Yeah, you're very unlikely to get snow there. If it snows in Southern California, there might be some problems happening. The weird... SoCal was like one of the weirdest experiences of my life. When I went to San Diego for my cousin's wedding. It was like 10:30 at night. And I walk outside. And I'm just like, something felt wrong. I just couldn't place my finger on it. And then I realized it was 80 degrees outside. And it was 10:30 at night. I couldn't understand. Like, my brain was non-functionally to understand that. It has never been warm in Michigan at 10:30 at night. It was like a very comfortable temperature too. It's like 80, like 75 to 80 degrees. I'm like, this is like beach weather, but it's dark out. You get tons of buses, are insanely good. Oh, but the buses are insanely good. I see, I see. Reading through chat, I saw how long is the task without the challenge. You had to call out work one day at late winter because we were in a level 3 snow emergency. They didn't call off work for you? That's weird. Hey, one good Pixie, welcome in. How are you doing today? As someone who lives in Utah, I hate the snow. I love snow so much. I love all 4 seasons in their own way. I prefer spring and fall because I really like mild weather. But, like, I wouldn't be able to live in a place that doesn't have all 4 seasons. Ranja? Rania? Probably Rania, right? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Where you live in Michigan? I live in Metro Detroit, but like 40 minutes away from Detroit, so not like super close to the city at all. Detroit's nice though. I go visit when I can. When I used to live in DC, they called a snow day with ½ inch of snow in DC? Really? Huh. Oh, the above ground metro rails. Yeah, okay, I can see why that would be a problem. Good to be here. I have a general sense of this challenge. Yes, the tea set is one of the items I can only get it from the Feast of the Winter Star. That's by far, well, maybe not by far, but that's one of the more tedious items for sure. That's probably going to be what I do last. Either that or owl statues. I'm not exactly sure how owl statues are going to work out yet. Everyone just spams the tea set. I should make it a follower emote so everyone can use it. I have some follower emote slots open. Thank you for the follow, one good Pixie. Don't worry, I have a plan for it. It's not going to be as bad as it could be. Blade helped me out, as did Jess, who was here earlier, with figuring out how to get the tea set in a good way. And it's still bad, but it's not as bad as it could have been, for sure. Now I can pretty reasonably get it. I can either figure out if I can't get it, or get it like every single year pretty easily. Like within a few minutes, rather than what I expected to be a lot longer than that. Always love comfy Stardew Valley streamers. I'm happy to hear you say that. I'm glad you feel that we're comfortable here. We try to be. At least I try to be. Cat has a mind of their own sometimes.
Oh, it's a person.
Hey, Big Leb. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Alright, almost got our starfruit done. That's when they drop an extra one, possible girl. They have a pretty rare chance of dropping an extra. Technically, I think that's off of your current luck. I think technically I should have like both my luck rings on right now, but I don't even have both of them. But yeah, they have a chance based off, I think maybe it's only off of daily luck to drop an extra. Yeah, it's random whether you get an extra one or not. It happens with a few crops. I don't know if... It doesn't happen with all of them, though. Seed, luck. Ooh, it can be seeded? That's probably really tough to seed. All of them do? I didn't know all of them could. I thought it was only a certain crops. If you flailed around just right. I mean, I'm sure it would drop if you flailed around enough. The 20 potato things was different, TJ. Potatoes have a very special way of doubling. They have a pretty good chance of getting extra. That's tomorrow. That'll be done. Oh, bye, Mysterious M. Thanks so much for hanging out. Oh, I thought you were saying bye because you said thanks for the stream. Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, Mysterious M. I'm glad you're here. It's good to hang out with people. Okay, luck does matter then. Abstractly, it seems. This is not enough. I'm not going to do it tonight anyways. To check here. 896 plus 6, 4. Oh no, this is enough. Okay. No, big. So the rule for the challenge, I had to define them fairly recently to avoid things like this. But one of them is basically it has to be in a single stack. So the quality technically does not matter, but I want it in a single stack. So for instance, strawberries over here. Strawberries have the silver star, but I have a whole stack of them, so they're done. The only rule is that it has to be in a single stack. It doesn't matter what quality it is. Yes, Chunky. Chunky is the other person. Mermaid. And we're good. Logarithm? I'll wait for the alert and be excited when it comes up again. There it is. Logarithm! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the stack. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. Thank you so much, Logarithm. This is your alt algo. What does that mean? Be a farmer with 1,600 breadsticks. And now 20 more Q gems. Gosh, I wonder if that one's worth it. We were talking in the Crew Discord about the Unimo Kart one not being worth it. But man, that's a lot of money for 20 Q gems. Oh, I see. Logarithm's my alt. I feel like whoever just sent that to me was being insulting. Someone just sent me bread in the mail. Was this like a rebate? Return to sender. Get out of here. I got my 36 gold back. Alright. It's your bread. My bread money. I feel like that's a real term, isn't it? Bread money? I don't know what it means, but we're not doing a gamba. We did a gamba yesterday, mermaid. Oh my god. Okay, fine. We'll do a gamba. We're gonna get more omnis than anything else. Ready, set, vote. I was in the shower yesterday. It's a weird statement when you say it like that, I feel like. Answer to that is, I hope so. Oh no, praise from Squirrel. I have to look away or I'll start crying. Squirrel, thank you so much. Ryan, you're wonderful, amazing, and you are adored, and you are incredibly talented, mostly at keeping a stuffed cat on top of your head. Yeah, pretty much. Aw, thank you so much, Squirrel. That really means a lot. I just like making people happy. Sneakers is proud of his host balance. My neck isn't. You'd be surprised by the little movements you do in your neck to keep it from getting sore over the course of an hour. And how you can't do them when you have a cat in your head. Going for ride sneakers. I was super pumped to vote for you. Oh, thank you so much, Brooker. Oh, that reminds me. If you have not yet voted in the Stardew Valley Awards and you're interested in doing so, go ahead and click on that link to vote. I'm in 3 of the categories. If you want to vote for me, that's awesome, but you should vote for who you think deserves it. And thank you so much, Brooker, for voting for me. That's so cool. I somehow got nominated for, I think it's called Best Twitch Streamer? I don't know how that happened. Challenge Runner made a little more sense. I'd buy that one. I think the other award was Best New Streamer. I don't know exactly, but like Best Streamer of last year was they had a different name for it, but that was the basic idea of it. Because since I started slightly less than a year ago, we're coming up on my 1-year anniversary here. Rising Star? No, Rising Star was less than 1,000 followers. Which I just realized Jess is on that, but Jess has more than 1,000 followers now. Rigged? No. I don't know if Jess is back yet. I shouldn't say that. Breakout Creator. Hey, Lee, welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, Gug's almost certainly somewhere on there. For those of you who do not know Lee, I should have a Lee command. I'll settle for how do you spell 20? There we go. Did that not work? Oh no, I did it wrong. Lee, this is really embarrassing, honestly. I'm sorry. There we go. There we go. If you don't know Lee is co-running the Stardew Valley Awards with Joe TG. And they're both, I'm very excited for what's going to happen with that. I actually don't really know what's going to happen with it yet. Are you ready, Algo? I am ready, Joe. You're also here. Why does that translate to food? Whatever that symbol is. I'm doing well. Joe, as well, is a streamer here on Twitch. So this time I actually can do Joe TG here. They both make amazing Stardew Valley content, so if you're interested in seeing some cozy, awesome people, you should go check out their channels. People who are awesome at speedrunning, and in Joe's case, challenge running as well. What have you been up to lately, Joe? I feel like I never catch your streams, because you always start like right after I end, so I'm usually about to go to bed or getting dinner or something. I saw you were doing like a perfection run? Not like a speed run, but just like a chill one. Supposed to be a little Among Us guy. Well, I mean, it is an Among Us guy. I am ready, yes, for the Among Us. Sorry, I have a viewer in here called Chunky who always writes Chinese, or Mandarin. And so I double-click it to translate it, because I have an extension that does that. So I saw that and I immediately double-clicked it to translate it. I did bald % yesterday. Oh no. Is that you unlock the wizard, and then you unlock the wizard's basement, and then make yourself bald? Or is that something else? Joe is Dream Daddy. Yes, pain and suffering runs I have seen before. Got it 100%? That'd be my guess, so. That's a... You have to open the... Oh, you do Joja. Okay, that makes sense. You do Joja and then the quest. Then unlock the basement. Yep. So, it's like Joja, but with extra steps. You don't need to get the Wizard of Four Hearts, I don't think, do you? Or is that what that is? I thought you had to do the, I thought you only unlocked the basement from doing the witch quest. See, I don't know things about this game because I've only been playing in the end game for like for the entirety of my Stardew career at this point. It's just 4 hearts for the wizard, then you can just go in. Okay, never mind then. See, I don't know everything. You drop everything. Oh no! I do this so much. Alright, I gotta check really quickly here. What one? This is why I don't do it every day. I never remember new career at this point. It's just well, it was actually very close, but Iridium Bars won by 3. It was 180 to 177. So sorry, believers. The Doubters have it this time, but barely. It was very close. Boo. Boo. Boo, Algo, boo. Congratulations, Doubters. You got this one. You can get a gold birthday gift and have the question 1 year. You know, I wonder, for 4 hearts, would it be faster if you did multiplayer and did the luau and everyone brought a good enough item so that it went the wizard to 4 hearts immediately? That could be a fun run with 4 players. Is that enough? I think it is. It should be, right? 9 players? You don't need that much, do you? Depends what you're giving, right? It's 120 each. Oh, wow. I thought it was better than that. Yeah, because you need 4 hearts. Alright, yeah, just get 9 of your friends online and it'll be nice and easy. Don't know what everyone's complaining about. I have 9 of my friends right here. The gang's all here. At some point I have to actually finish all this here. Hey Shannon, welcome in. How are you doing today? And Sweet Sunny, welcome in as well. You were saying Boo earns. Yeah, gold birthday gift would probably be enough, huh? A lot easier to not worry about. Wizard's birthday is in fall, right? That's what I said, winter 17. Omnis did not win. Sorry, Medusa. I have the video evidence. I'm going to hide myself in shame now. After reviewing the footage, the ruling on the field has changed. Omnis won. I'm no longer telling you about the randomizer. I should put a scam alert on there. Now that I've done it twice, I feel like it's warranted. Yes, Omnis won, obviously. And no one can prove otherwise. It's crazy how well Omnis have been doing lately, isn't it? Very strange. And spectacular for me. Hey Kale, how are you doing today? Hey Distraction, how are you doing today? Alright, let's go to somewhere else. Let's go anywhere else right now. I'm gonna go be mean to some monsters in the mines. Pretty good, glad to hear it. What did I miss? I'm gonna actually keg, so you can all yell at me. I might have clicked the incorrect Gamba. What's the command? Cancel? It is, but you have to, yeah. Mermaid took care of it. I might have clicked the incorrect answer to the Gamba. It's okay though, because everyone loves me and will forgive me for it. I assume. Scammer. No, not the clip. You can't do that, mermaid. You can't just provide evidence of my misdeeds. Wait, I can delete the message. I can delete the clip too. I wonder if I can doctor the clip. It's like horribly doctor it. Put like a big 999 next to Omni's. They won! I don't have a good way to monitor it, TJ, unfortunately. So we're gonna call it the cost of doing business. It happens sometimes. Things go by so fast. Algo makes mistakes. If you don't want to be scammed, you don't have to gamba. And also enjoy this ad. No, mermaid. That would be unfair. What are what? What ad? Oh, not for you, Frazzle. You're a subscriber. It was just the regular ad time came up. So I was just saying enjoy this ad. Now, enjoy this word from our sponsors. Probably Hyundai. Autocorrect ruined it. I don't know if autocorrect was at fault for that joke. I would make air quotes, but my hands are busy. Hey, Brady's barking. Hey, we have a Brady emote now. When Brady's barking, you can spam the Brady emote. Listen, it was Alco. Hilarious. Whatever you need to hear, Frazzle. Whatever you need to hear. Yeah, I can bully you for 9 more seconds, because the subscribers know it's okay. The people who aren't subscribers can't hear it right now. Alright, time's up. Frazzle is funnier than you. That's not a really high bar. Not to be self-deprecating or anything, but... That's like jumping over the limbo pole there. Forgot about turbo users. I know, Leo. Probably a bunch of other people too. Hi, Leah. Welcome in. And people who have ad block. I have turbo as well, so. It turned out paying for 30 subscriptions was rather expensive, so I just got turbo for a few instead. I still have to jump, okay? Why would I side with Streamer? I don't know. You've shown time and time again that you haven't, so, you know, I'm not that surprised. You ever say something in a certain way and, like, remember something from a piece of media that's, like, horribly sad? Then you have to stop for a second and, like, give that some time to sit. Because that definitely did not just happen right now. Something else probably happened. What's turbo? I'm not going to advertise for Twitch, but you can buy it to get ad-free viewing on Twitch. basically. No, yeah, it's a subscription service for Twitch as a whole, where you just don't get ads anymore. Which Twitch does not do a very good job advertising it exists. I feel like most people don't know about it. That's how I ended up with Turbo too. Yeah, it was like I looked at my bill and I was like, wow, that's a large monthly recurring amount, isn't it? They wouldn't, would they? Hey. Probably costs more money than it's worth. They would increase the price, I think, if that was the case. Maybe they wouldn't, actually. There'd be a lot of backlash. Maybe you got a point there, Kitty. I'm not certain of that, though. Oh, and Mermaid said the same thing. Sorry. I didn't read yours, Mermaid, until now. Oh gosh, wait a second. Guys, sneakers fell. I wasn't there in time. I'm okay. Sneakers, you're okay. I sneezed. I was trying to get to the mute button in time. I'm okay. I did make it to the mute button in time. I'd like to point that out at least. What were those faces? I legitimately thought you were throwing up. I was trying to stifle my sneeze. Oops, I gotta put these down. It wasn't going very well. Did Algo die? Find out next time on... I don't know. What do we call the show? What show is this? The 999 show? Sounds boring. The Sneakers show? Concerned the heck out of me. Don't worry. I'm not gonna die on you. Probably. Wait till I'm streaming in 90 to worry about whether I'm gonna die on you or not. I should still streaming at 90. Yeah, I'm gonna put that thought on my head. One step away from 1,000. If I take one more step, it'll be the furthest from 1,000 I've ever been. The furthest from 0 I've ever been. What are your thoughts on beans? I have a pretty high opinion on beans. I like baked beans. Those are pretty good. I just had red beans and rice for dinner the other day. It was delicious. Got a bunch of leftovers, so I'm excited to have more. I had tortilla soup that was full of like pinto beans and red beans. That was absolutely delicious. So beans are good. I usually don't have them by themselves unless they're baked beans though. I feel like the texture is a little weird. So I prefer them like in things rather than by themselves. Algo, did you get my joke? If you die, I'm pushing you off the bed. No, I don't think I did. I don't understand, I don't think. Read it properly. If you die on me... Oh. Yes, I didn't see the on me part. Yes, that actually makes more sense. Everybody, Google your first name and that hedgehog to lose faith in people. I'm not going to do that, Farland. I think I've done that before, and I did not really enjoy the experience. But also, I don't know. I don't like the idea of making fun of middle schoolers. We were all middle schoolers once, okay? We all did really stupid things. Some of us drew ourselves as Sonic the Hedgehog characters very poorly. And some of us, what did I do? Some of us expressed our crushes on girls by walking up to them, being unable to say anything, and then running away. So, yeah. We were all in middle school once. Let's be nice to our Sonic the Hedgehog friends. Mine weren't too bad. That is extremely effective. Some of us just broke someone's arm. I think that's assault, Farland. Might not want to admit that. I used to find the rain depressing. I didn't read the rest of it, so I'm going to assume she still finds the rain depressing. Sweet leeks are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world in the 7 ponds. Are you offended by my singing or something? Peyton. If that is your real name. Oh no, your statues are leaking. That's good, Medusa. I don't think I've heard that one before. I may have slapped someone in class because he tried to suggest sing Happy Birthday. Wait, why'd you slap them for suggesting singing Happy Birthday? I do like your slap technique, though. That is, sounds painful. And also something that's easy to get away with. Good combination. Didn't want my attention. Oh, it was your birthday. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought it was just like randomly wanted to sing Happy Birthday and you were like, no! Because frankly, that sounds like something you'd do, Mermaid. It actually kind of really hurt my hand. You're right, that stinging slap works really well. Also, sorry if the mic peaked. It probably did. I made a weird mixture with milk and yogurt. I mean, considering those two things are almost the same thing, that's probably not that weird. My hands actually hurt. That was a mistake. I actually slapped him before my brain engaged and realized after making contact. Did you try and play it off as like accidental? Probably wouldn't work, huh? Did you get in trouble? Oh, that's good. At least he didn't rat on you. Now, did he not rat on you because he was nice or because he was afraid? Or because he was embarrassed? Those are all valid options. We didn't get on the best? Okay. Afraid then. I have to say, I haven't heard much about school in the UK, but every time I do, like, hitting is involved pretty frequently. I'm wondering how common that is. Whether it's slapping or punching or wrestling. Like, fights happened in my school, but it was, like, a very rare thing. Like, everyone would talk about it for a few days after it would happen. I think I can think of, like, 4 major fights that happened across my 4 high school years. I don't remember any in middle school, but I also don't really remember middle school at all. That was kind of a daze, those years. Alright, where are we heading next? Don't need the leaks, so I guess straight to the island. My teacher hit a kid with a yardstick on accident. As a teacher, I can assure you that was not an accident. But good on the teacher for being able to play it off as one. Bullying definitely happens, and not much gets overly done about it. I mean, that's true. That's true in the U.S. too. Absolutely true in the U.S. Dang it! I didn't see ya. I should just learn to grab that every time, anyways. Hey, we got a tail. Good deal. It broke his nose. Good swing, arm. I'm sorry, how fast was the teacher swinging this yardstick? Also, was it a wooden yardstick? There's no offense to like the structural integrity of the student's nose, but it's hard to imagine breaking a nose with a wooden yardstick. I feel like the yardstick would snap first. Maybe they used to make them a lot stronger. Now, if it's a metal yardstick, that makes a little more sense. Like, I'm just trying to imagine the accident that exists. Like, why was the teacher swinging the yardstick with such a speed that it even had the potential to break a nose? I've swung some yardsticks in my day, but not around students. And not at a very high speed. Hey, we hit 1.1 billion. See how fast that's going up now? Jeez. Seems like just yesterday we were at 1 billion. Making so much money now. Look how much money I have. Alright, let's go.
Oh, it's a person.
I don't know what to do today. Hey, Cassell Moon. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. It's early enough that I'm probably just gonna go to the harder mines. He was running to the door and smacked him right in the... Yeah, I'm not so sure this was an accident, actually. You're not making a very convincing argument that this was an accident, Peyton. Someone in my year had to get himself off the rugby pitch after being injured. I mean, injuries happen pretty often, right? Spinal fracture. Okay, that's a little bit more severe. Whoa, jeez. Sorry. Well, I don't know them, but that sucks. That's really bad. That's like permanent damage. Hey, Johnny, how are you doing today? Only have a few minutes? Well, thank you for using your few minutes to say hi. Welcome in, Johnny, for the few minutes you'll be here. He was on the phone running to go talk to a teacher. Yeah, maybe I'm not like the most energetic teacher ever, but I don't think I've ever run in my school. Admittedly, I've only been there for a year. I certainly wouldn't run, holding a yardstick. I might run holding a meter stick, but you'd never catch me dead holding a yardstick. Schooling is going well, but I'm very busy. You have your cohort in 10 minutes? Yeah, I remember cohort meetings. I don't know. I have to say, I feel like it doesn't matter what job you're in. Meetings always feel like super unproductive. I feel like I've never been in a meeting and felt like, yeah, that was a good meeting afterwards. That really needed to exist. I don't think those words have ever crossed my mind after a meeting. I've had meetings where, like, important information was divulged to me, but, like, emails are also really good at divulging important information to me. Hello, Stickbug, my old friend. Got two that time. I'd like to destroy you again. Because you give me so many Q gems. You see that? That amazing dodge by that slime being behind those rocks. This could have been an email t-shirt, yes. Hey, another stick bug. Aren't those things supposed to be rare? Okay, good floor. A third stick bug. Now that's just absurd. Wow. Good job taking the brunt of that. Save the fiddlehead. Hey, DJ Matt J? DJ Matty J, sorry, welcome in. I don't remember these levels in the mines. You unlock these in the end game. So this is the same mines, but it gets a new skin, like, very far into the game. It's basically a quest that lets you make the mines a lot harder, but it also gives better rewards. So I can find something called radioactive ore in here, which is a very rare late game substance that's used in some high-level crafting recipes. This all got added in 1.5, which is the most recent version of the game. Now available on all platforms. Another stick bug? Things just get better and better. Ooh, 5 gems out of that one. But welcome in, DJ. Hope you're doing well today. If you do have any other questions, feel free to let me know.
Oh, it's a person.
And thank you so much for the follow. Almost on year 5? Awesome. So, depending on what you're doing, you're probably trying to complete the community center, right? Or if you're done with that regardless, you unlock this on the island that you unlock after completing the community center. I think so, Mermaid. Wait, are you implying that there might be some way to manipulate that? I think it's I think Blade came in earlier and said it was a 50% chance each time. And I took that to mean... that it would be a 50% chance of giving one, and then 50% chance of giving another, 50% chance of getting another. Hey, Godzilla, what are we looking for? Fiddlehead Ferns, Dwarf Scrolls are good, Radioactive Ore, few gems, and that's most of it. I'll take the Bat Wings and kind of anything else I come across as well, but that's most of it. Killing the enemies can give me pressure nozzles and enrichers as well. Oh, the Q gems, Godzilla, is what I was talking about. Currently working on the island. Perfect. So you'll find it pretty soon then, DJ. It's behind a door with a golden nut on it. Which tells you how to open it if you find it. I have 3 apples left in the community center and they won't grow. Make sure that the area around your apple tree is cleared up and it's not winter, because both of those things prevent the apple tree from growing. It will continue to grow once you get back into spring, but it won't grow during the time period you're in winter for. Also, if you put it in your greenhouse, yeah, just make sure there's no like tiles or anything in a circle around it. They are very funky, Godzilla. Like, I'll get 1 the vast majority of the time, and then, like, there's a few times I've gotten 9. Like, 9 is such a ridiculous amount. And it's happened twice. Man, this game does not want to give me a mummified frog. I feel like it's been so long. Yes, I did, Godzilla. I definitely saw that video. I see Blade video, I click. It's pretty automatic for me at this point. Yeah, fruit trees take a whole month to grow, but you can grow them before you need them, and you can grow them in the greenhouse where they work all year. So they'll grow in any month that's not winter outside, but they won't actually produce until their month. Alright, Johnny, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope your cohort meeting goes well, and I hope the rest of your student teaching goes well as well. I'll probably see you again before that ends, but just want to wish you luck on it, because it can be really tough at times. Hi, Iridium Needle. I don't want you. Why can't you be something else? Like something I want. Like a Q-Gem. Good slime. The coffees are worth a decent amount? I mean, yeah, they are. But you could probably make money much easier than putting prismatic shards in in a shrine and waiting for more children to be born. I guess once you get it set up, though, that's like an infinite repository of coffee, isn't it? They drop bat wings, too? I don't think they do they? Can they be boss enemies and drop a special item? They're not in the mines though, so probably not. I think you have to be in the mines for that to be the case. They drop nothing? They drop coffee. If you're wearing a Java ring. I know, Maroon. I'm just making a joke. It'd be cool to have something else like the Java ring. I don't know what else you'd want things to drop though. Maybe they could drop. You could have like a greedy ring or something, and they drop like money. Not very much, but just like a small amount. So they like drop like coins, and you pick them up, and it like adds to your money. That'd be kind of fun. Quick, someone make a mod. Yeah, it would be hard to adjust. I mean, you just do it as like, it would just be a little extra thing, right? So it probably wouldn't be that much money. If like enemy would drop like, on average, like $2 to $3 or something like that. I think that could still add up pretty quick. With a rare chance of dropping a lot. Oh, dang it. Whatever. That's a good day. We'll take what we got and turn it into... We finished some artifacts recently, and that's kind of really cool to see. It's the only artifacts we had done for a long time were the dinosaur ones, the ones you can get from the Pepper Rexes. But now we finished Red Dwarf Scrolls. We finished Rusty Cogs. We finished Rusty Spoons. Like that's progress, right? Okay. Let's put everything away here. Okay. Here. I'm gonna take a very quick break here, probably about 3 minutes or so, and I'll be right back. So while I am gone, I forgot I'm supposed to take breaks and open things with Clint. Oh well, that's a shame. So I'll be back in 3 minutes. I will see you all right after these messages. See you all in a minute. Did y'all miss me? I know you did. What's going on, friends? Let's go ahead and continue our reign over Stardew Valley here. Okay, I see what you're doing now, by the way, Godzilla and Mermaid. You're calculating, like, how much the coffee is worth compared to the, like, how much money the ring would have to drop to be equal to the worth of the coffee. Anyone know when Winley's birthday is? I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's in fall, but I could be wrong about that. He's a diamond dude, so I never remember from the statues. If you just Google it quick, it should tell you.
Oh, it's person.
That's wrong? What did I do wrong this time? I mean, what didn't I do wrong? Yo, what did that alert just say? Because I didn't get a message for it. Google it quick, it should tell you.
Oh, it's person.
That's Biscotto Saber Renala. Thank you so much for the follow. I don't know why it's not showing me in my activity feed that you followed. That's weird. Thank you. I leave for 30 minutes to watch a show with my husband and you scam people? That's me, yeah. I'm the scammer. It's not fall, it's summer 24. Okay. Please don't listen to me about birthdays. I'm gonna stop trying. What show are you watching, Kat? I'm curious. Let me know. Is it Last of Us? Because that's a good show. House! That's also a good show. And I've been thinking about rewatching House. Like, I should say thinking about. It's like literally crossed my mind. Rather than, I haven't like made any steps to make it happen. My husband never watches it. That's a shame. Well, good thing you're correcting that. I watched it when I was very young. I do love Hugh. I think Hugh Laurie was my first experience about hearing an actor that had a different accent when they acted than when they had in real life. I think I watched an interview with Hugh about the show House, and I was like freaked out. I was like, "Wait, what? Huh? How do you what? You're British?" Yeah, it's a fun show. I was in my teens, I think, when I watched it, if not younger. I don't like remember it super well. I remember enjoying it though. We're gonna have these midnight carps for frickin' ever.
Oh, it's person.
Yeah, my activity feed's just not working. I think that was Kumar. See Kumar, thank you so much for the follow. I can't double check your name because I don't see it anymore, but thank you so much for the follow. Maybe I'll just refresh this page real quick. To be fair, Dr. Worm, I was pretty young when House was coming out, so it's not like I was seeing all these dramas. I think House might have been like the first drama I ever watched. It's also possible I've seen him in other things. I have really bad face blindness. So, especially with actors, I feel like I never realize who they are. Oh, he does comedies? Primarily comedic. Let's name some other movies or shows that he did around that time period. You said before House. Backladder? Oh no. Blackadder. I dyslexiaed the heck out of that word. I put the L where it shouldn't. I just moved the L over. I put the L where I wanted it. Okay, I've heard the name of that before, but I don't know what it is. Apologies to everyone here who is more cultured than I. We didn't get any row today. 444 Sawyer, thank you so much for the follow. having a theory right now. Nope. DJ, thank you so much for the follow as well. I don't know if I missed it. Oh no, I didn't. It just didn't show up on my activity feed. I remember saying it now. Alright, well, my activity feed's back. The 1880s, yep. I've not watched back Blackadder, but I've heard of it. It was in the 80s? Okay. Ooh, who's me? Yes, I was not born in the 80s. That would typically hamper my ability to watch something. Yes, I know. I could have watched it somewhere else, but... So repeats. History rhymes. Including the guy that was Mr. Bean. You mean Mr. Bean? Is that? No. Name's Mr. Bean. It's definitely British humor. I'm quite fond of British humor, honestly. Think of some examples. I cannot. I'm stupid. What's that one show that they do? I'm narrowing it down a lot. I remember seeing an episode where they weren't allowed to enter a circle. I think it's like a skit show. They have tasks they have to complete. Very British show, from what I can tell. Come on, mermaid, help me out here. You're my entire UK knowledge. Oh, I think it's literally called Taskmaster. Yes, I think that's it. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Is it not British? I thought that was a British show. Maybe I'm thinking of a different show. You never watched it? Okay. You failed me. Yes, Taskmaster, I think, is it. I don't really watch TV. Neither do I. I shouldn't hold it against you. I watch, Jeopardy and Family Feud, because my dad really likes them. I like spending time with him. And they're pretty fun. I like Jeopardy quite a bit. This is Jeopardy! With your host, Jeff. Today we have Jeff, and Jeff. If you do not understand what I'm referencing, you should watch a video on YouTube called Jeopardy right now. And you will feel more enriched for having the experience. I think I've seen Mastermind too. Omnis did not win this time. Don't try to fool me, Frazzle. Also, there's no payout. There's nothing to be paid out. Alright. Where are we going now? Right, we need to go here. That's right. Oh, we haven't done Gem Talk in a while. I might be ending pretty soon, Frazzle. Getting pretty tired all of a sudden. I don't know if you could tell. I'm trying to think of a Gem Talk question. Let's see here. Ooh, what was your favorite stuffed animal growing up, everyone? If you had one, what kind of animal was it, and or what manner of creature was it? Might be a good way of asking it. What manner of creature did you cuddle with? Or did you just have a blankie? My answer should be obvious. I had Sneakers. You had a black poodle Beanie Baby. A bear my dad got for my birthday named Honey. Oh, that's super. So my childhood dog died. Oh. Dad, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. You had an elephant named Webkins. Welcome in, Glowgatch, by the way. Hope you're doing well today. Elephant that belonged to your mom. I didn't expect this to get so wholesome. I don't know why, but I did not expect this to get so wholesome. I had a penguin beanie buddy. I still have it somewhere. I found Sneakers. Hey, Minsky. You had a bear named Night Bear because it had sleeping masks and a PJ. Oh. I missed. Whoops, I missed. There we go. It was rocks. My dad had been away. I wasn't supposed to be home for my birthday, so it was special. Oh. I had a big gorilla from when I was 2 called Big Ape. I had it till I was 20 and my dog ate its face. Oh. Well, now it's a new toy. Pink bear named Pinky, you still have it. There must be like something very interesting about the psychology of like things you make connections with when you're really young. Like your family and then like your special object of interest, whatever it was. I'm talking like The Giver, where they have a comfort object in The Giver. What made me think of that? It is Thursday, my dudes. What's my favorite color? Oh, violet. I've been here most of the time, but I was making dinner. Yeah, we love our lurkers. I just wanted to make sure you knew you were greeted and welcome. Rusty Husky, welcome in. Yeah, my favorite color is violet. I really like purpley colors. So like pure purple, like violet, isn't actually a color that exists in nature. It's not a wavelength of light, which is really cool to me, that it's kind of like a color of human invention. Our eyes mix the wavelengths of red and blue together to create like a violet purple color. Otherwise it wouldn't actually exist normally. So I think that's really cool. So it's my favorite. Also been lurking. I've actually been napping on and off with the stream in the background. That's cool, Glow. I need to nap more, is what I'm realizing from listening to all of you say this. All of you talk about napping. It's like, I don't do that ever. I should try. I try to like lay down to nap and I get distracted by my phone and then I don't fall asleep. I still get rest, but I don't like nap rest. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me? I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that. Buy me dinner first. Could probably come up with something embarrassing that happened to me. Honestly, don't know if I can think of anything like... Nothing stands out in my mind as like the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me. Yeah, do that instead. I feel like I'm gonna get this used against me later, so maybe I won't, actually. Hey, we got double strange dolls. I take that. Wait. Suspicious. Kaboom!
Oh, it's person.
Hey, Crusty Husky. That's actually tough to say, isn't it? Thank you so much for the follow. Hey. Ole! Ole! Actually, don't need those anymore, so I won't bother to pick them up. Who are you married to in Stardew? We are married to Leah. She is the loveliest of marriage candidates. Oh, Frazzle beat me to it. Dang. If I hadn't put 2, I would have won. I just had to show that my love for Leah was greater than Frazzle's. Ah. Let's not say that, Krusty. Let's try not to use words like that. I don't mind if you swear, but probably not like that. That's true because I don't love Leah. Well, maybe you should. Ever thought of that, Frazzle? Leah is a perfect lady. We're definitely not going to use that word to describe her. Frazzle, I read that is I love Amelia, and I had a very interesting flashback for a moment there. Some of you will understand. Well, I think I talked about this the other day, but I don't find Emily that amazing. She seems like someone I'd want to be friends with, but not want to, like, be romantically involved with. I feel like I would get into fights with her a lot. Over really dumb things. I wouldn't want that. Hey, Escape! How are you doing today? Welcome in. He's a weirdo. I like weirdos. Fair enough. Alright, happy Friday, everyone. Tomorrow is the Spirits Eve Festival. Dang, already? I'm married to Shane? Oh, yeah, that's a whole lot of something right there. Shane's fine. He's got a lot of problems. But if you think you can help him, that's on you, I suppose. Alright, let's think here. It is 8:30 for me. I do gotta get up in the morning. And I still need to eat. I am pretty hungry. Got off work, went to buy some art supplies. I'm sorry, Escape, because I think we are about to end stream here, unfortunately. I have decided I want food, I want nourishment, and I want sleep, unfortunately. So we are going to find someone awesome to raid. There's a lot of awesome people online right now. Let's look at this awesome person. What's this awesome person up to? There's too many awesome people on. I have to make choices. You know what though? This isn't that hard of a choice. Right, we are going to go ahead and raid. We're gonna raid Shy Egg, who is an awesome streamer here on Twitch, and someone who you're available to vote for in the Stardew Valley Awards if you're interested in doing that. So, I think Shy only recently started streaming, and she's very fun. And you guys are gonna all have a really good time there, doing some Junimo Kart speedruns right now. KJ Cello, thank you so much for follow. We're gonna put up our ending stream screen here and get our raid ready to go, and we'll say our goodbyes. Yes, if you can copy that raid message, feel free to do so. Thank you, Frazzle. You could post the other one too, since Onion's not here. I fixed exclamation mark raid as well. Bye, Peyton. Bye, Cat. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Bye, Escape. Bye, Medusa. Bye, Frazzle. Bye, Krusty. It was nice to meet you. Bye, Minsky. Everybody who was hanging out here, having a good time today, relaxing, all cool, lurking down by the school. Thank you all so much for being here today. Bye, Dr. Worm. Have a wonderful time. Everybody, be nice to Shy. Have a wonderful time over in her stream. And I'll see you all in the future. Have a good rest of your evening / time zone, everybody. See y'all soon.
But my best time is
making pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
Hello, Algo. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome on in. I apologize. I'm doing a speed run, but I can still welcome you guys in and give you the proper hype and keep going, right? How was your stream? How are you, my friend? For those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Shy Egg. I am primarily a Stardew Valley streamer. This is not a good run anyways. And today we are doing some Junimo Kart Progress Mode speed runs. So that is just finishing Progress Mode as quickly as you can. My best time is 5 minutes and 20 seconds, but that's pretty low on the leaderboard.